1. The illusion of free will in deterministic narratives. Think about a moment when you felt you made a real choice, only to find that everything turned out exactly the same regardless of your decision. This is the heart of the illusion of free will in deterministic narratives. In many stories, a character seems to be making decisions all by themselves. Yet, deep down, it turns out that the outcome was already set long before they even chose a path. For instance, consider a story about a girl named Mia who reaches a fork in the road. Whether she goes left or right, she meets the same challenges and ends up facing the same fate. It feels as though her decision was an illusion, a comforting idea that she was in control, even though the ending was written all along. This paradox makes us question whether our lives might work in a similar way. Sometimes, even when we think we are making free choices, the outcomes seem almost pre-planned, like a movie where every scene leads to a fixed ending. We feel like we have control, much like how characters in a story seem to choose their own destiny. Yet, just as actors follow a script, their decisions might only give the impression of free will. Over time, hearing this idea repeatedly, even outside of stories, can make it seem more real. Our brains often take shortcuts and believe familiar ideas without checking all the facts. In everyday life, when you choose your route to school and end up in the same place you always do, it can feel like your choice didn't really matter. This repeated experience makes the idea that free will might be just an illusion feel natural. It's a simple yet powerful concept that many stories use to help us understand the hidden forces guiding us, whether we notice them or not. 2. The unreliable narrator. Trusting the storyteller. Consider the times you've listened to someone tell a story and felt that something was a bit off. The storyteller might leave out details or even mix up facts, yet you keep listening because the story feels familiar. This is what we call the unreliable narrator in many narratives. In these tales, the person who tells the story does not always give you the whole truth. For example, picture a man named John who shares a mysterious event from his town. His version of the events seems exciting at first, but as the story unfolds, you start noticing small inconsistencies, details that just don't add up. It's like putting together a puzzle and finding that a few pieces are missing or don't fit quite right. When we hear a story told by someone who might be leaving things out or even twisting the truth, our mind often fills in the gaps with what feels familiar. We might not question it deeply because our brains prefer to believe something that sounds consistent, even if it might not be completely accurate. This effect is similar to how repeated ideas, even if false, become accepted as truth. We see this in everyday life when rumors spread, and despite knowing that not every detail makes sense, we start accepting them simply because they sound right or feel familiar. The unreliable narrator forces us to pay extra attention and sometimes even become our own little detectives, asking questions like, "What is really happening here?" It reminds us that sometimes, even in stories meant to entertain, the truth isn't as clear as it seems. Over time, as we hear similar storytelling techniques in different places, our minds start to accept them without much extra thought. And that's why this idea can stick with us, both in fiction and in real life. 3. Recursive storytelling. A story that writes itself. There are stories where the narrative starts talking about itself, blurring the line between the tale and the teller. The style, known as recursive storytelling, is like hearing a song that suddenly starts explaining its own lyrics. In one such narrative, you might follow a detective on a case, only to discover that parts of his journey include hints that his life is actually part of a larger, unfolding story. The story seems to step back and look at itself, as if it knows it's being told. This makes you feel like you are not just reading a story, but also witnessing the process of its creation. In these tales, you may find that the characters become aware that they are in a story. They might notice patterns or clues that suggest someone, or something, is writing their every move. This twist creates a special kind of connection because it challenges the usual idea that a story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. Instead, the narrative loops back on itself. It's like reading a diary where the writer suddenly turns the pages and starts talking about the diary itself. The result is a playful, almost magical experience that makes the story feel both mysterious and self-aware. This way of storytelling can feel strange yet familiar at the same time. We all know the comfort of a story that feels predictable, but when the story begins to question its own nature, it creates a unique tension. Humans, which prefer things to be straightforward, must work harder to understand what is happening. This extra effort can make the experience more engaging because it sparks curiosity. Just like a catchy tune that you can't get out of your head, recursive storytelling repeats its own ideas until you start believing in the magic behind it, even if it seems a bit unbelievable at first. It's a creative way to show that sometimes the process of telling a story can be just as fascinating as the story itself. 4. The author within. When creators step into their own tales, there are times when the line between the creator of a story and the story itself becomes blurred. In these narratives, the author actually steps into the story as a character, changing the way the tale unfolds. Picture a story about a hero on a grand adventure, and just as the hero faces a critical moment, the person who wrote the story appears to explain why everything is happening. This twist makes the story feel more real, because it shows that someone is actively involved in its creation, even if that means breaking the usual rules of storytelling. When the author becomes part of the narrative, it creates a sense of closeness. The reader may feel like they're being led in on a secret, as if the writer is sharing the hidden plan behind every twist and turn. This idea can make you wonder if characters truly have lives of their own, or if they are simply following a script set by someone else. It is much like watching a play and then seeing the director step onto the stage to explain how the actors are following a rehearsed plan. The mix-up between the storyteller and the story invites you to think about the magic behind every tale. It shows that the process of creating a story can be as important as the story itself. In everyday life, we often see hints of this idea when we notice that the same story or idea is repeated in different ways. The familiarity of the concept makes it feel true, even if it is just a clever trick. When authors use this technique, they tap into that feeling of trust that comes from repeated exposure, making their message seem more genuine. This simple idea helps us understand that sometimes the person behind the story is just as important as the story being told, and it makes the whole experience more engaging and memorable. 5. The endless time loop, a cycle without end. Some stories show us a world where time seems to repeat over and over, like a never-ending cycle that is hard to break out of. In these narratives, characters live the same day or experience the same events repeatedly, even if they try to change things. Take a character like Leo, who wakes up every morning only to find that the day is exactly as it was before. No matter what new choice he makes, the day resets and everything happens again in the same way. This creates a feeling that time is stuck on repeat, much like watching your favorite TV show over and over without any change. This cycle of repetition makes you question how real progress or change can be. When every day feels the same, you start to wonder if there is any room for growth or learning. Even if you try to do something different, the familiar pattern wins out, and you end up in the same place. Our minds naturally like things that are predictable, and the repeated cycle of a time loop can make the idea of change seem impossible. Yet, sometimes, even in a loop, there are tiny differences, a small choice, a slight change in a conversation, that hint at the possibility of breaking free. In our own lives, routines can sometimes feel just as repetitive. Every morning might seem to follow the same steps, and over time, those steps can become so familiar that we hardly notice them. That's why the endless time loop in stories feels both comforting and a bit unsettling. It reminds us of the power of repetition and how our minds can accept something as true just because we see it over and over. This simple concept shows that even when we are caught in a cycle, there is always a chance, however small, for something new to happen, and that hope can be both inspiring and a little mysterious. 6. Predictable uncertainty, knowing the unknowable. Sometimes in stories, you sense that something big is about to happen, yet you can't quite put your finger on what it will be. This is what we call predictable uncertainty. It's like knowing that a storm is coming because dark clouds gather every evening, but you still don't know exactly when the rain will start or how hard it will fall. In a story, clues are dropped time and again. Hints in a character's tone, a look in their eyes, or subtle details in the background that make you expect a twist or a secret to unfold. Even though you anticipate something surprising, the exact nature of the surprise remains hidden until it happens. In these narratives, the mix of what you expect and what you don't is both fun and a bit unsettling. It's as if the story is teasing you by repeating patterns that say, something important is coming, while keeping the full picture locked away. This feels similar to watching a magic show where you know the magician has a trick up their sleeve, yet every performance leaves you wondering about the secret behind the act. The idea of predictable uncertainty teaches us that our minds are wired to pick up on familiar signals, even when those signals lead to unknown outcomes. We learn to expect the unexpected because our brain fills in the gaps with what it already knows. This effect makes the moment of revelation feel all the more dramatic when the final twist is revealed. In our daily lives, it's like waiting for a long-anticipated event. You might know it's coming, yet each time the details catch you off guard, renewing your sense of wonder and surprise. 7. Character growth in stagnant plots. There are times when a story seems to stand still, with the plot not changing much, even though the characters keep growing and changing. In these tales, the world around the characters might feel fixed and unchanging, yet the inner lives of the characters develop in unexpected ways. Consider a character who struggles with a fear or a personal challenge over and over, while the events around them repeat or remain very similar. This creates a curious situation where the setting is like a calm pond, but beneath the surface, the water is always moving and shifting. Even when the external events seem stagnant, the personal growth of a character can bring a fresh perspective. For example, a teenager who has to deal with the same family conflict year after year might slowly learn more about themselves, gaining wisdom and insight despite the unchanging backdrop. This paradox makes you wonder how much of our lives are defined by our environment versus our inner transformations. It shows that change can happen in small, personal ways even if the world around us feels like it's stuck on repeat. In everyday life, this is like being in a familiar place and meeting the same people, yet each day, you discover something new about your own thoughts and feelings. The story teaches us that even in a setting that never seems to change, growth can be constant and powerful, offering hope and a sense of progress in ways that are deeply personal. 8. Simultaneous realities, multiple worlds in one tale. In some narratives, different realities coexist side by side, almost as if the story is happening in several places at once. This idea of simultaneous realities means that there isn't just one single world, but multiple versions of events that can overlap and interact. Picture a tale where a character's decision splits the story into two paths, one where they take a brave step forward and another where they hesitate and hold back. Both outcomes exist at the same time, like parallel lines that sometimes touch, yet remain separate. This paradox feels a bit like living in a dream where you can be in more than one place at once. It's similar to reading a book where you get to see what happens if a different choice is made, all within the same narrative. Such stories invite you to consider how different parts of life might be happening simultaneously. In everyday experience, it can remind you of the moments when you daydream about alternate choices, what might have happened if you had taken a different route or said something else at the right time. The story shows that these what-if scenarios aren't just figments of our imagination. They can be woven into the narrative to give us a richer, more complex picture of life. The idea makes us question whether there is just one true reality or many, all existing together and influencing each other, much like multiple TV channels playing different stories at the same time. 9. The infinite narrative, a story without an end. Some stories seem to have no clear ending, stretching on and on in a way that makes you wonder if there will ever be a conclusion. An infinite narrative is one that feels endless, where the story loops around or branches out into new directions without a final stop. This kind of storytelling is like reading a book that keeps adding new chapters every time you finish one, so you're never quite sure when the story will finally wrap up. In these tales, the lack of a clear ending creates a sense of mystery and possibility. It's similar to walking along a road that splits into many paths, where each turn leads you into another adventure instead of a neat conclusion. This endless quality makes you feel that the story is as vast as life itself, always changing, always offering new twists. It can be both exciting and a little unsettling, because while it promises continuous surprises, it also leaves you hanging, wondering what comes next. In everyday terms, it's like a TV series that never seems to end, keeping you hooked because every episode offers just enough cliffhanger to keep your mind buzzing. The infinite narrative teaches us that sometimes the journey is more important than the destination, and that a story's power lies in its ability to evolve endlessly, just as our lives do. 10. Nonlinear chronology. The past, present, and future collide. Some stories don't follow the normal, straight path of time. Instead, they mix together the past, present, and future in surprising ways. In a nonlinear chronology, events aren't told in the order they happen. Instead, moments from different times are blended together, creating a tapestry where the past influences the present and hints of the future show up unexpectedly. This way of telling a story feels like flipping through a photo album where the pages aren't arranged by date, but each picture helps you understand the whole picture better. This mixing of time can be both confusing and exciting. You might read about a character's childhood and then jump to a moment in their adult life, only to return to an important event from their past. This interplay makes you work a little harder to piece together the timeline, much like solving a fun puzzle. It reminds you that life itself isn't always linear. Memories and dreams can shape how you see the world at any moment. In daily life, you might find yourself reminiscing about something from long ago while planning for the future, and those moments overlap to influence who you are today. The nonlinear approach in storytelling shows that every part of our lives is connected, and sometimes understanding one moment means looking at several at once. It creates a rich, layered experience that feels true to how we actually remember and imagine our lives, making the narrative all the more engaging and real. 11. The omniscient narrator's fallibility. In many stories, there's a voice that tells you everything happening in the tale, as if it sees every secret and detail. You might think that this narrator is completely reliable because they seem to know it all. However, sometimes even this all-knowing voice can miss important facts or even get things wrong. It's a bit like when a friend tells you a story but later you learn they forgot to mention key details or mixed up some parts. This makes you wonder, can you trust every word you hear? Or is there always a hidden truth waiting to be discovered? When you notice small mistakes or omissions in the narrator's account, it sparks your curiosity. You start paying extra attention, looking for clues that suggest a different story might be unfolding behind the words. This idea is very relatable because, in real life, even people who seem to know everything can be mistaken. It reminds you that questioning what you're told can lead you to a deeper understanding. The fallible narrator turns reading into an active adventure, almost like a mystery where you get to be the detective. Instead of simply accepting the words, you begin to wonder if the narrator is hiding something or if their perspective is just one way of seeing the events. This twist makes the story more engaging and personal because you realize that truth might be more complicated than it first appears. In a way, it teaches you to trust your own judgment and look for evidence rather than believing every familiar tale. This simple idea, that even the one who seems to know everything might be wrong, makes the whole reading experience more interactive and fun as you join the hunt for what really happened behind the scenes. 12. The inverted hero's journey. Usually, when we think of a hero's journey, we imagine a brave character rising to greatness by overcoming obstacles. In some stories, however, the journey is flipped on its head. Instead of a smooth path toward success, the hero starts with promise and gradually faces a series of setbacks and doubts. This inverted journey shows that even the strongest person can stumble and lose their way. Think of a hero who once saved the day but later struggles with fear and mistakes. This isn't just a story about failure, it's about learning from those failures, discovering hidden strengths, and sometimes even finding a new purpose in the midst of despair. It's much like watching a star that dims before gathering a new light from deep inside itself. This twist feels honest because, in real life, success rarely follows a straight line. Sometimes, challenges and setbacks are part of growing up and learning important lessons. The inverted hero's journey encourages you to see that falling down isn't the end of the adventure. It's a chance to rebuild and transform. As you read, you might recall times when you faced tough moments and later found that those struggles helped you become a stronger, wiser person. This story makes you feel understood and reminds you that even heroes have dark days before they rise again. It teaches that every setback holds the potential for a comeback, making the journey of life both unpredictable and full of hope. 13. The unreliable seer. Prophecies that mislead. Many tales introduce a wise seer who predicts the future, giving advice or warnings that seem to shape the characters' lives. Yet sometimes these predictions lead characters astray rather than guiding them to safety. Imagine a respected prophet who tells everyone that a great victory or terrible disaster is coming. Because this voice is repeated so often, people start to believe it without question, even when there isn't much evidence to support it. Over time, the characters may begin to act in ways that make the prophecy come true, even if that wasn't the original plan. It's like when you hear a rumor again and again until it starts to feel like the truth, regardless of the facts. When a seer's words are unreliable, you begin to wonder if the future is set in stone or if our actions can change it. The idea is both fascinating and a bit unsettling because it shows how repeated predictions can influence decisions and even create the very outcomes they warned about. In everyday life, you might notice that sometimes warnings or expectations can push you to act in a certain way, which then makes those warnings seem accurate. This paradox teaches you to question predictions and consider that sometimes the power of belief can shape reality. It's a reminder to think critically about the words you hear and to remember that even the wisest voices can sometimes be mistaken. In this way, the unreliable seer not only adds mystery to a story but also invites you to explore how expectations can alter the course of events. 14. The unwritten future. Stories yet to happen. Some stories leave their endings open, making it feel as if the future is still being written even as you read. This idea of an unwritten future suggests that nothing is fixed, and every choice might lead to a brand new chapter in the tale. Imagine a narrative where the characters face important decisions, and instead of having a clear outcome, the story pauses and lets you wonder what might happen next. It's like watching a movie that stops right before the final scene, leaving you to imagine all the different endings. This open-ended approach mirrors real life, where despite all our plans, the future remains uncertain and full of possibilities. When a story shows that the future is unwritten, it invites you to think about how your own decisions can shape what comes next. The characters seem to stand at a crossroads, with every small choice hinting at a different path. It makes the journey feel interactive and alive because you are encouraged to dream about the endless potential of what might occur. This way of storytelling teaches you that life isn't about knowing every answer in advance. It's about exploring the unknown and being open to change. Just like you might decide to try a new hobby or take a different route home, the characters in these tales remind you that the future is yours to shape. The uncertainty can be both thrilling and a little scary, but it also fills the story with hope and possibility. By leaving the future unwritten, the narrative becomes a living adventure that grows with every decision made along the way. 15. Self-fulfilling prophecies in plot and character. Sometimes, a story sets up a belief that ends up coming true simply because everyone starts to act as if it will. This is known as a self-fulfilling prophecy. In these tales, a prediction or rumor is repeated so many times that both the characters and the readers begin to accept it as fact. For instance, a character might be told that they are destined to fail, and because they believe it, they might stop trying as hard, which then causes them to fail. On the flip side, if someone is constantly praised and expected to succeed, that positive energy can help push them to reach their goals. It's much like a rumor that grows stronger the more it is repeated, even if the original idea was not entirely true. This effect shows how powerful our beliefs can be. When a prediction is made over and over, it changes how people act, and those actions make the prediction come true. In everyday life, you might have noticed that if you expect something bad to happen, you might unknowingly set events in motion that lead to that outcome. In a story, this creates an interesting twist where the character's behavior confirms the prophecy, making it hard to tell if the future was really set in stone or if it was shaped by their own actions. This paradox encourages you to think about how words and expectations can become powerful forces that shape reality. It serves as a gentle reminder to be mindful of what we believe and say, because sometimes, by repeating an idea, we give it the strength to create its own reality. 16. Hidden clues in plain sight. Sometimes in a story, little hints are sprinkled throughout, yet they are so ordinary that you might almost overlook them. This idea is called hidden clues in plain sight. It's like looking at a simple drawing and then noticing a tiny detail, a hidden smile or a small symbol that tells you more about the artist's feelings. In many tales, the writer puts subtle signs in the background, in a character's look, or in a brief comment that, first, seems unimportant. But as you read further, you begin to understand that these small clues are pieces of a bigger puzzle. For example, you might see a recurring object, a locket, a faded photograph, or even a specific word that shows up in several parts of the story. First, it might not mean much, but later it hints at a secret connection between characters or a hidden past that slowly comes to light. This idea is very relatable because, in everyday life, we notice small details without even realizing their importance. Think about when you see a friend's changed hairstyle or a different style of dress. They can tell you something new about their mood or situation, even without words. The magic of these hidden clues is that they invite you to pay closer attention. They turn reading into an exciting treasure hunt, where each discovered hint makes the final picture clearer and the ending more surprising. Even though the clues seem very simple, they build up a secret language between you and the story. By finding these tiny hints, you become part of the adventure, piecing together the mystery that the writer has cleverly left behind. This way, the story feels alive and interactive, encouraging you to look beyond the obvious and enjoy the thrill of discovery. 17. The unresolved mystery that solves itself. In some stories, you come across a puzzle that appears unsolvable, yet somehow the mystery finds its answer almost on its own. This is known as the unresolved mystery that solves itself. Imagine a tale about a hidden treasure that everyone in a small town has been searching for. Clues seem scattered and confusing, and every lead appears to reach a dead end. Just when you start to think the mystery will remain forever unsolved, an unexpected twist, perhaps a forgotten note or a chance remark, suddenly brings all the pieces together. The treasure is found, not because of a complicated plan, but by a simple, almost accidental event that makes everything click into place. This idea resonates because, in our daily lives, problems sometimes resolve in ways we never planned. You might spend days on a homework problem, only to have the answer come to you during a casual conversation. In these stories, the mystery's solution seems natural, as if the puzzle was meant to be solved by a quiet moment of insight rather than by relentless searching. It feels almost magical when everything falls into place without a long explanation. The mystery that solves itself shows that not every secret needs a grand reveal. Sometimes, an unplanned detail can bring clarity. It makes you believe in the unexpected and teaches you that life, like a good story, can resolve its uncertainties in the most surprising ways. This twist invites you to enjoy the journey of figuring things out and appreciate how a seemingly unsolvable problem can suddenly make perfect sense. 18. The silent protagonist, voice in the void. Some stories feature a main character who barely speaks, leaving you to guess what they are thinking or feeling. This is known as the silent protagonist, a voice in the void. In these tales, the character's inner life is hinted at through their actions, the way others react to them, or even the quiet moments that speak louder than words. Imagine reading about someone who faces big challenges without uttering a single line of dialogue. Their silence makes you focus on every look, every small gesture, and the way their eyes seem to tell a story that words cannot capture. This idea is easy to understand because, in real life, we often communicate without speaking. A smile or a frown can say much more than a long conversation sometimes. The silent protagonist draws you in by challenging you to interpret what is not said. You become a sort of detective, piecing together clues from the character's expressions and actions to understand their hidden emotions. their quiet strength, their unspoken doubts, and even their moments of loneliness create a rich and mysterious picture of who they are. It makes the story feel deeper and more personal because you start to fill in the blanks with your own ideas. In this way, the silence becomes a powerful language on its own, a language that speaks directly to your heart, inviting you to explore the unspoken parts of life and literature. 19. Memory as a narrative construct. In many stories, memory is not just a simple record of the past, it becomes a tool that shapes the whole narrative. This idea, called memory as a narrative construct, means that what characters remember might not be the whole truth. Imagine a tale where a character recalls a happy event, only to later realize that their memory has changed over time. The details might blur or even shift with each retelling, just like how a favorite story can change a little every time you hear it. This idea feels familiar because, in everyday life, our memories can be tricky. Sometimes we remember things differently than they really happened, or we focus on certain parts and forget others. In a story, these changing memories add layers of mystery. They make you wonder if the past is really as clear as it seems, or if it's something that evolves along with the character's feelings. The way memories are shown in the narrative can reveal hidden truths about a character's heart, or even change the way the story unfolds. It teaches you that memories, though precious, are sometimes like puzzles with missing pieces. By showing how a character's past might be reshaped by time and emotion, the story reminds you to question what you remember and to appreciate the complex ways our minds work. It turns the idea of memory into a living, changing part of the narrative that adds depth and surprise to the tale. 20. Creator or character, the author's dilemma. Sometimes in stories, the line between the writer and the characters becomes very blurry. This is known as the creator or character dilemma, where the author might appear within the story or the characters seem to take on a life of their own. Imagine reading a tale where, at certain moments, the narrator hints that they are also a part of the world they are describing. This playful twist makes you wonder who is really in control, the person writing the story or the characters living it. It's like watching a puppet show and then seeing the puppeteer step in and talk about the puppet's feelings. This idea is very engaging because it invites you to think about creativity and free will. In real life, we sometimes feel that our lives are guided by forces beyond our control, even when we try to make our own choices. In these stories, the author's presence challenges the normal rules of storytelling. It makes the narrative feel interactive, as if you are part of a secret conversation between the writer and the characters. By blurring the lines, the story shows that every tale is a mix of the writer's vision and the character's own unexpected actions. This creative mix-up makes you reflect on how much of our lives is shaped by our own choices versus the influences around us. The creator or character dilemma turns reading into a fun mystery, inviting you to explore the magical space where art and life meet, and reminding you that sometimes, the best stories are those that leave you wondering who is really calling the shots. 21. Infinite loops in dialogue. In many stories, the conversations between characters sometimes feel as if they are stuck on repeat. Instead of moving forward with new ideas or revealing fresh secrets, the dialogue cycles through the same words and themes over and over. It is much like a favorite song that gets stuck in your head, playing the same chorus repeatedly without ever progressing to a new verse. When characters talk in loops, it can show that they are caught in a pattern or a habit that is hard to break. This repeated exchange can leave you wondering if they truly understand one another or if they are trapped by their own thoughts. Consider a scene where two friends are discussing a problem. Maybe they are trying to decide how to fix a mistake or choose a path in life. One friend asks a question, and the other gives an answer that sounds familiar, only to have the first person respond with the very same concern as before. Their words circle back, like two dancers endlessly repeating the same step. This never-ending loop in dialogue can make the scene feel both realistic and a bit surreal, as if time itself is pausing and replaying a moment. It reminds you of times when you have been in a conversation that led nowhere, where no new insight was gained and both sides kept echoing the same thoughts. Writers sometimes use infinite loops in dialogue deliberately to highlight a character's inability to break free from old ideas or emotional states. It might symbolize that the characters are stuck in a rut, unable to see beyond their current predicament. This kind of dialogue forces you, as the reader, to pay closer attention. You start noticing the patterns and wondering what might finally break the cycle. It also shows how sometimes our words can trap us in our own minds, repeating worries or hopes until we learn to see a new perspective. In this way, the looping dialogue isn't just a quirk of the story, it reflects a deeper truth about how people sometimes struggle to move on or think differently. By recognizing these repeated exchanges, you learn to listen for even a small change, a slight deviation that might signal growth or a breakthrough. This idea of infinite loops in dialogue challenges you to consider how your own conversations can sometimes become trapped in repetitive patterns, and it inspires you to seek out moments that offer a fresh start. 22. The observer within the narrative. Sometimes, a story introduces a character who seems to watch everything that happens but rarely takes part in the action. This observer is a silent presence who notices every detail and quietly influences the way events unfold. The idea of an observer within the narrative makes you feel as if there is an extra pair of eyes always present, silently recording the truth of each moment. It is similar to having a friend who listens carefully to every conversation and remembers every little detail, even when no one else is paying attention. Imagine reading a tale where, during important events, a mysterious character is present in the background. This character rarely speaks or changes the outcome directly, yet their presence is felt strongly. Their quiet observations offer hints about what might be really happening beneath the surface. Perhaps they notice the subtle shifts in tone when someone is upset, or the hidden sadness in a joyful celebration. Their role is not to lead the action, but to witness it, much like a photographer who captures every candid moment without interfering. Because this observer is always there, you begin to question whether everything you see in the story is as it appears, or if there are hidden layers of meaning that only a careful eye can detect. This idea resonates with you because, in real life, there are often moments when someone simply watches and listens, absorbing details that others miss. It reminds you that sometimes the quietest voice, the one that isn't shouting for attention, can reveal the deepest truths. As you follow the observer's perspective, you learn to notice the little things, the way light falls on a familiar face, the slight change in expression that signals worry, or the small acts of kindness that might otherwise go unnoticed. The observer within the narrative challenges you to think about what it means to truly see and understand a situation. Their silent presence invites you to look beyond the obvious actions of the main characters and consider what lies beneath the surface. In doing so, you become more aware of your own observations in daily life. You begin to recognize that sometimes, the most important details are not shouted out loud but are instead whispered in the quiet corners of everyday moments. This understanding can change how you interact with your surroundings and how you interpret the stories of your own life. It is a reminder that every story has layers, and sometimes the truth is found in the gentle art of observation. 23. Fictional truth versus factual fiction. At times, stories blur the line between what is imagined and what is real, creating a space where fiction and fact seem to mix. This paradox, known as fictional truth versus factual fiction, challenges you to question what you consider to be true. In many narratives, characters experience events that seem impossible yet feel deeply authentic. The emotions and struggles depicted may be entirely made up, but they resonate with you as if they were real facts from life. It is as if the story is saying, even if this didn't happen in the real world, its truth is just as powerful as any fact. This blending of fiction and reality can make a tale especially engaging because it invites you to see beyond the surface of the story. Picture a narrative where a character embarks on a wild adventure that defies the laws of nature. Although the events are clearly fantastical, the feelings and relationships portrayed are so familiar that they seem indisputably real. You might find yourself relating to the character's joy, sadness, or fear, even though you know that such magic does not exist outside the pages of the book. This mix-up creates a sort of truth effect, where repetition and familiarity convince you of a deeper reality. The more you hear or read about these experiences, the the more real they feel, even if they are not grounded in facts. It is similar to how urban legends or popular myths can shape people's beliefs over time. The idea of fictional truth versus factual fiction reminds you that stories have the power to convey important lessons and evoke genuine emotions. Whether a tale is entirely invented or based on real events, its impact on your heart and mind can be just as strong. It teaches you that truth is not always about measurable facts, but can also be found in the feelings and ideas that the story leaves with you. This paradox makes you consider that sometimes, what you believe to be factual might just be another form of storytelling, a narrative constructed from repeated ideas until they seem like undeniable truths. In this way, the boundaries between fact and fiction become fluid, and you are encouraged to explore the hidden meanings that lie beyond the literal words. Ultimately, this blending of imagined events and real emotions enriches your experience of the story, leaving you with a sense that every narrative holds its own unique kind of truth, no matter how fantastical it may appear. 24. The meta-narrative paradox. There are stories that seem to comment on themselves, blurring the lines between the tale and the very act of storytelling. This is known as the meta-narrative paradox. In these narratives, the story becomes aware of its own existence and often challenges the reader to think about how stories are made and why we tell them. It is like looking in a mirror that reflects another mirror, where the act of reflecting creates an endless chain of images. In a meta-narrative, the characters or the narrator might speak directly about the story, revealing secrets about how the tale is crafted or questioning the very nature of truth in storytelling. Imagine reading a book where, in the middle of a dramatic moment, the narrator pauses and asks you why you are so eager to know the ending. This interruption makes you aware that you are reading a story and that every word has been carefully chosen by someone who is also part of the narrative. The effect is both playful and thought-provoking. It encourages you to think about the relationship between the storyteller and the story. Are the characters merely puppets of a predetermined script, or do they have their own voice? The meta-narrative paradox forces you to consider that sometimes the way a story is told is as important as the story itself. This idea resonates with you because it mirrors the way you might question the media or the news you consume. Just as you learn to look critically at information, meta-narratives invite you to examine the construction of the tale. It shows that stories are not fixed or absolute, but are built from layers of ideas, opinions, and creative choices. In everyday life, this is like realizing that every story you hear, from a friend's anecdote to a historical account, is shaped by the perspective of the teller. The meta-narrative paradox reminds you that questioning the source of information can lead to a deeper understanding of the truth. By inviting you to see behind the curtain, these stories challenge you to think about the power of storytelling and how it shapes the way you perceive the world. They turn reading into an interactive experience where you become both the audience and the critic, always on the lookout for the hidden artistry behind every word. 25. The unreliable memory in storytelling. Memory is a powerful part of how we understand the world, yet it can be surprisingly unreliable. In many stories, characters rely on their memories to guide them, but these recollections often turn out to be incomplete or even distorted. This paradox, unreliable memory in storytelling, shows how the past can be reshaped by time and emotion, making it a moving target that is never quite as it seems. When a character remembers an event, it might not be the exact truth but rather a mix of feelings, assumptions, and even dreams. This can lead to misunderstandings and unexpected twists in the plot. Imagine a narrative where a character recalls a childhood event that defined who they are. Over time, as they revisit that memory, small details change. A happy day might be tinged with sadness, or a moment of triumph might later appear as a misunderstanding. The evolving memory becomes a puzzle that the character, and you as the reader, must try to solve. This uncertainty makes the story more engaging because it challenges the idea that the past is fixed. It feels like you are exploring an old photo album where some pictures have faded or altered with time, yet the overall story remains powerful. This paradox is especially relatable because, in real life, you may have experienced moments when your memory of an event differs from what others remember. Over time, Repeated retellings can change your view of what really happened. The unreliable memory in storytelling teaches you to question whether what you remember is the full truth or just a version shaped by emotions and time. It reminds you that every memory is, in a way, a story itself, one that can be revised and retold in many different ways. By presenting memory as flexible and sometimes unreliable, the narrative encourages you to look deeper into the characters' hearts and minds. You learn that the truth of an event might lie hidden behind layers of personal experience and that understanding the past often requires piecing together many different perspectives. In this way, the paradox of unreliable memory enriches the story, inviting you to explore the complex interplay between fact and feeling. 26. Fragmented reality, pieces of self in a shattered narrative. In some stories, the reality you see is not smooth and whole but broken into many parts, just like a mirror that has been shattered. The idea of fragmented reality means that a character's identity or the world around them is split into pieces that seem to come from different places. Imagine a character who wakes up every day feeling as if they are living in several different worlds at the same time, sometimes the past, sometimes the future, and sometimes a strange present where nothing seems to fit. This character might remember things differently from one moment to the next, or even feel like parts of their personality are at odds with each other. It is as if each piece of who they are is floating separately until the moments come together to form a picture that makes sense only for a short time. This idea is much like when you look at a puzzle that has been scattered on the floor. Each piece on its own tells you little about the whole picture, but as you start to connect them, you begin to see a story emerge. In a fragmented narrative, the clues are all around: small details in a conversation, a flash of a memory, or a sudden change in the weather that hint at a larger truth that is hard to grasp. The world in these stories may seem confusing or even unsettling because nothing is as clear as it appears. Yet, this broken view of reality can also be beautiful. It shows that life is made up of many moments, each with its own story, and that even when things seem scattered, there is a hidden pattern waiting to be discovered. As you read, you might start to notice that the character's journey is not about finding one fixed answer, but about learning to live with the mystery of their own nature. The story gently reminds you that sometimes, life does not come in one neat package. It is a collection of memories, dreams, and unexpected twists. Even though it might feel overwhelming at times, the fragmented reality offers a deeper understanding of how diverse and unpredictable our experiences can be. It invites you to appreciate each small piece, knowing that together, they form a unique and ever-changing picture of life. 27. Unseen conflicts, hidden battles that shape the story. There are moments in a story when the biggest battles are not fought with swords or loud shouts but quietly inside the hearts and minds of the characters. These hidden conflicts are like silent storms raging beneath calm surfaces. Imagine a character who smiles in public while struggling with doubts and fears that no one else can see. This inner struggle may not be obvious at first glance, but it drives every decision and action they take. Even when everything seems peaceful on the outside, there is a secret war going on deep within. Think of it as a situation where you feel conflicted about making a decision. Maybe you want to speak up, yet fear holds you back. In stories with unseen conflicts, these internal battles are just as important as the external challenges the characters face. The tension builds slowly as you notice small hints, a worried glance, a pause before answering a question, or the way a character avoids certain topics. Over time, these subtle clues reveal that there is much more happening than what meets the eye. The characters might be torn between following their heart and obeying expectations, or they could be wrestling with a decision that could change everything. This type of conflict feels very real because we all have our own silent struggles. The story shows that while the world may not always see our inner battles, they shape who we become and how we interact with others. As you follow the narrative, you are invited to empathize with the characters' hidden pain and hope. Their journey teaches you that courage is not just about fighting out loud, it is often about facing your inner fears, even when no one is watching. The quiet conflicts may not have dramatic explosions, but they leave a lasting impact, teaching you that every person carries a secret story of struggle and strength. In this way, the hidden battles enrich the narrative and remind you that true resilience often grows in silence. 20. Split selves, the dual nature of characters. In many stories, characters are not just one thing. They can be like two different people living in the same body. This idea of split selves shows that even one person can have a dual nature, with conflicting feelings and thoughts that pull them in different directions. Imagine a character who is kind and gentle on one hand but shows moments of anger and recklessness on the other. This internal tug-of-war makes the character more complex and real, just as we all have parts of ourselves that sometimes disagree with each other. Picture a scene where a character is faced with a tough choice. On one side, there is the gentle, caring part that wants to help everyone. On the other, there's a bold, daring side that craves adventure and risks. The tension between these two sides creates a powerful inner conflict, making every decision feel like a balancing act. The dual nature of a character might be revealed slowly through subtle changes, a flash of defiance in a quiet moment, or an unexpected act of kindness after a burst of anger. It is like watching a movie where the hero wears two faces, each showing a different emotion, and you never know which side will come out stronger. This paradox is relatable because, in real life, we all have different sides to our personality. Sometimes, you might feel brave and confident, while at other times, you might be shy or uncertain. The split selves in a story remind you that these mixed feelings are natural, and that being conflicted can lead to growth and change. As the narrative unfolds, you see the character learn to understand and balance these different parts of themselves. This journey towards self-acceptance makes the story not only more interesting but also deeply human. In the end, the dual nature of a character shows you that embracing all parts of who you are, even the conflicting ones, can lead to a richer, more complete life. 29. The unseen hand, fate and coincidence intertwined. There are stories where events seem to be guided by an invisible force, a mysterious hand that pushes characters towards certain outcomes. This idea of the unseen hand explores how fate and coincidence can mix together to shape the course of a narrative. Imagine a tale where every chance meeting, every unexpected twist, feels like it was meant to happen. It is as if there is an invisible thread connecting the lives of the characters, guiding them through challenges and surprises, even though no one can see or explain it. In these narratives, the characters often experience moments that seem too perfectly timed to be random. Perhaps they narrowly avoid danger at the last minute, or meet someone who changes their life in a significant way just when they needed help. These events make you wonder whether they are purely accidents or part of a larger, hidden plan. The idea is similar to those times in your own life when events line up in a way that feels almost magical, as if the universe is giving you a gentle push in the right direction. The unseen hand in the story is not a force you can touch or see, but its influence is felt in every twist and turn of the plot. As you read, you begin to notice that even the smallest coincidence might have a greater purpose. The narrative invites you to believe that there is meaning behind what might otherwise seem like random events. This mix of fate and chance challenges you to consider that perhaps everything in life is connected in ways you cannot fully understand. It reminds you that while you work hard and make decisions, there may always be elements beyond your control that shape your destiny. This understanding can be both comforting and mysterious, making the story feel alive with possibilities. The unseen hand shows that life, like the best stories, is filled with unexpected turns that remind you that not all is left to chance. Sometimes, there is a quiet force guiding you toward where you need to be. 30. The unanswerable question at the heart of storytelling. Every great story leaves you with a question that seems impossible to answer, a mystery that lingers in your mind long after you've turned the last page. This is the unanswerable question at the heart of storytelling. It is that nagging wonder, the what if, that makes you pause and think about everything you've just read. Imagine a narrative that ends not with a neat conclusion, but with a thought-provoking twist that asks you to question the nature of truth, or destiny. This question might be about why a character made a certain choice or what really happened behind the scenes. It is a puzzle that is meant to be felt more than solved. In these stories, the unanswered question is not a flaw but a deliberate invitation to the reader. It encourages you to engage with the tale, to ponder its deeper meaning, and to discuss it with others. Much like a riddle that doesn't have a clear answer, the mystery makes the story feel more real and alive. You might find yourself returning to the narrative again and again, trying to piece together the clues and understand the true message hidden between the lines. The unanswerable question often reflects the complexity of life itself, where answers are not always clear and some mysteries remain forever unsolved. This paradox is especially relatable because you know that not every problem in life has a simple solution. Sometimes, the beauty lies in the uncertainty, in the endless possibilities that come from not knowing everything. It reminds you that questions can be just as important as answers, driving you to explore, imagine, and dream. The story leaves you with a sense of wonder and curiosity, urging you to look deeper into your own experiences. In this way, the unanswerable question at the heart of storytelling becomes a powerful tool. It transforms the narrative into an ongoing conversation that continues long after the final words have been read, inviting you to find your own meaning in the mystery of life. 31. The paradox of time's echo, past and future overlap. In some stories, time seems to loop back on itself so that the past and future echo in unexpected ways. You might follow a character who is trying to leave a painful memory behind, only to have that very memory reappear and shape a decision in the present. This phenomenon feels like hearing a familiar melody played on a different instrument. The notes remain recognizable even as they take on new meaning. The character's life becomes a tapestry woven with threads from moments long gone and events yet to come, suggesting that nothing really fades away. Every laugh or quiet moment from the past carries the potential to influence the future, much like ripples on a pond that extend far beyond the point of impact. This idea makes you wonder if time is truly linear or if our experiences are more like recurring echoes that never fully vanish. Think about a scene where an old photograph suddenly appears, stirring up feelings and choices that the character thought were settled. The echo of that moment compels the character to reconsider what they believed was history and, in doing so, alters the course of events. The interplay between memory and possibility is laid bare, inviting you to see that the boundaries between yesterday and tomorrow are not as firm as they appear. It is as if the narrative itself is reminding you that every experience, no matter how distant, carries a seed of future consequence. As you follow the character's journey, you begin to appreciate the delicate balance between letting go and holding on. The paradox of time's echo teaches you that while the past can seem like a closed chapter, its influence lingers, coloring every decision and emotion. This overlapping of time invites you to reflect on your own life, on moments that continue to shape you long after they have passed. In the end, the story suggests that our lives are a continuous cycle of remembrance and renewal, where each echo from the past opens up a doorway to the future. 32. The illusion of control. When fate feels real, many narratives portray characters who believe they are steering their destiny, only to find that events take unexpected turns despite their best-laid plans. This is the illusion of control, a feeling of authority over one's path that gradually dissolves when fate intervenes. Imagine a character meticulously planning every step of a journey, only for unforeseen circumstances, a sudden storm, an unexpected ally, or a twist of fate, to redirect their path in ways they never imagined. Despite the character's strong belief in their power to choose, external forces seem to nudge them toward outcomes that appear preordained. This phenomenon is much like planning the perfect day only to have a chance encounter completely change your plans. The narrative shows you that while you may think you hold the reins, there is often a hidden force at work, guiding events from behind the scenes. The character's struggle to maintain control becomes a reflection of life's unpredictable nature. Every decision, no matter how carefully made, is subject to influences beyond one's command. This realization is both humbling and liberating, as it suggests that not every twist in the story is a personal failure, but part of a larger tapestry of fate. As you read, you start to notice subtle cues that hint at the mysterious hand of destiny at work. A chance meeting, a repeated symbol, a sudden change in weather, that all point to a reality where control is only an illusion. The story gently challenges you to accept that some elements of life are beyond human control, encouraging you to embrace uncertainty and find beauty in the unpredictable. In this way, the illusion of control transforms the narrative into a meditation on fate, resilience, and the art of letting go. 33. The recurring motifs, repeated patterns that reveal hidden truths. In many tales, you encounter symbols and themes that appear over and over, like a refrain in a song that gradually unveils a deeper meaning. These recurring motifs serve as subtle guides, inviting you to look closer at the story's hidden layers. Imagine a narrative where a simple object, a faded scarf, a particular song, or a recurring phrase, pops up during key moments. Each appearance feels almost accidental, yet when you begin to notice the pattern, it becomes clear that these elements carry important messages. They act like signposts pointing toward truths that are not immediately obvious, urging you to piece together the larger picture. The repetition of these motifs can be as soothing as a familiar tune, giving the narrative a rhythm that anchors you even when the plot seems to twist unexpectedly. As you follow the repeated symbols, you start to see connections between disparate events and characters. Each recurrence builds upon the last, slowly revealing a hidden layer of meaning that might explain why certain choices were made or why particular events unfolded as they did. The motifs become threads that weave the narrative together, binding the past, present, and future into a cohesive whole. This idea resonates with you because, in life, patterns often reveal themselves over time. The recurring motifs in the story prompt you to ask, "What is this symbol trying to tell me?" They encourage you to be attentive and to trust that even the smallest detail can be a clue to a deeper truth. Ultimately, these repeated patterns transform the narrative into an engaging puzzle, where every familiar element is a piece waiting to be assembled into a grander understanding of the story's true message. 34. The shifting perspective, changing narratives in the blink of an eye. Some stories are told from more than one point of view, and the narrative may change direction suddenly, offering you a fresh lens on the same events. This shifting perspective feels like stepping into someone else's shoes and seeing the world anew. Imagine a moment when the story transitions from one character's inner thoughts to another's, revealing completely different emotions and interpretations of the same occurrence. What seemed obvious from one viewpoint becomes entirely mysterious or even contradictory when seen through another's eyes. This sudden switch is both disorienting and enlightening, encouraging you to reconsider your initial assumptions. The narrative employs this technique much like a camera that pans across a room, capturing details that would have otherwise gone unnoticed. Each shift adds depth, as you begin to understand that every character carries their own version of the truth. The perspective changes are not random, they are carefully woven into the fabric of the story, each new viewpoint offering additional clues and challenges that build a richer, more complex picture. The interplay between different perspectives makes the narrative feel alive, dynamic, and full of surprises. As you move from one viewpoint to another, you realize that no single perspective can capture the entire reality of a situation. The shifting perspective teaches you that truth is multifaceted and that understanding a story often requires looking at it from various angles. This idea mirrors your own experiences, where different people can see the same event in dramatically different ways. It invites you to embrace ambiguity and appreciate the beauty of diversity in perception, ultimately making the narrative, and perhaps life itself, more fascinating and nuanced. 35. The paradox of silence. What is left unsaid speaks volumes. Sometimes, the most powerful parts of a story are not in the dialogue but in the quiet moments that follow. This is the paradox of silence, where what remains unspoken carries as much meaning as words. Imagine a scene after a heated argument where everyone falls silent. In that pause, emotions, secrets, and unexpressed thoughts fill the space, resonating deeper than any lengthy explanation could. The silence becomes a language of its own, revealing hidden truths about the characters and the situation without uttering a single word. In this narrative, silence is used like a brushstroke in a painting. It adds depth and nuance to the overall picture. When a character chooses not to speak, or when a conversation is left hanging in the air. It hints at inner conflicts, regrets, or hopes that are too profound to articulate. This absence of sound draws you in, inviting you to read between the lines and piece together the emotions that the characters are too overwhelmed or uncertain to express verbally. It is as if the quiet itself is trying to tell you a secret, urging you to notice the subtle gestures, a lingering look, a trembling hand, or a sigh that speaks of things unsaid. The paradox of silence is especially compelling because it mirrors real life, where sometimes the most significant feelings are communicated without words. These silent moments challenge you to consider that not everything important needs to be spoken aloud. They remind you that silence can be as rich and telling as conversation, offering insights into the true nature of relationships and conflicts. In this way, the narrative transforms silence into a powerful storyteller, conveying depths of emotion and meaning that resonate long after the last word is read. 36. The echo of regret. When past mistakes resurface, in many stories, the past is never truly gone. It lingers like a soft echo that reverberates in the present. Characters often find that their previous mistakes, decisions, or lost opportunities come back to influence their every move. This echo of regret can feel like a gentle reminder at first, but gradually it grows louder, shaping choices in unexpected ways. Imagine a character who once made a critical error, one that hurt someone they cared about deeply. Even as they move forward, that mistake clings to them like a shadow, nudging their decisions and coloring every interaction. Each time they face a new challenge, a part of them is held back by the fear that history will repeat itself. The story shows you how the echo of regret isn't just about remorse. It's about the lessons learned, the pain that lingers, and the persistent drive to make things right. The echo of regret works much like a familiar song that you cannot forget, even when you try to move on. In a quiet moment, a seemingly insignificant detail, a familiar scent, a stray remark, or an old photograph can awaken memories that flood the character with emotion. These memories often force the character to confront what they once did and to question if they have truly changed. The tension between wanting to forget and needing to remember creates a rich layer of internal conflict, making the journey more relatable and human. Just as in life, where regret can be both a source of pain and a catalyst for growth, the narrative uses these echoes to deepen the story. They remind you that every choice has its weight and that healing sometimes means facing the past rather than erasing it. In this way, the echo of regret transforms the narrative into a delicate dance between memory and possibility, urging you to consider how past mistakes can shape the future while also holding the potential for forgiveness and renewal. 37. The illusion of perfection. Embracing flaws to reveal truth. Many narratives celebrate flawless heroes and pristine worlds, yet a closer look often reveals that true beauty lies in imperfection. The illusion of perfection is a theme where characters or situations seem flawless at first glance, but deeper scrutiny reveals hidden cracks that make them real and relatable. Picture a character who appears to have it all: success, charm, and strength, but underneath this polished exterior, there are moments of vulnerability, an error. These imperfections might be small: a misstep in judgment, a soft spot for a childhood memory, or an unexpected bout of insecurity, but they are the very things that connect the character to the reader's own experiences. This paradox challenges the idea that perfection is the ultimate ideal. Instead, it shows that our flaws are what make us human. In a story, a character's journey towards self-acceptance often begins when they start to see that the pursuit of an unattainable perfect image can be more harmful than embracing their true self. Like a beautifully worn piece of furniture that tells its own story through scratches and dents, a character's imperfections reveal layers of experience and emotion. As the narrative unfolds, the illusion of perfection crumbles, making room for authentic growth. The once unattainable ideal becomes a reminder that every mistake, every scar, is part of what makes a person uniquely themselves. In real life, you might admire a friend not because they never falter but because they rise again after every stumble. This theme encourages you to look past the surface and appreciate the truth that lies within our imperfections, teaching you that genuine strength and beauty come from accepting who you are, flaws and all. 38. The invisible bond, hidden connections that shape destiny. Sometimes in stories, characters are linked by forces they cannot see, threads of fate that bind them together in unexpected ways. This invisible bond is a subtle yet powerful idea, suggesting that relationships and coincidences often shape destinies far more than individual efforts alone. Imagine a narrative where two people from very different worlds repeatedly cross paths, not by chance, but because a quiet, unseen force draws them together. Their lives, full of separate struggles and dreams, slowly start to mirror each other. Even when they are apart, the invisible bond tugs at their decisions and guides their journeys, as if a silent hand is at work, connecting the dots of their shared destiny. This idea is much like the sensation you get when you meet someone and feel an inexplicable familiarity, a warmth that hints at a deeper connection. In the story, small coincidences, a shared glance at a crowded room, the same unexpected remark at the same moment, accumulate into a pattern that neither character can ignore. These subtle signals gradually reveal that their paths were meant to intersect, offering hope and a sense of purpose. The invisible bond challenges the notion that life is merely a series of isolated events. Instead, it shows that every encounter, no matter how brief, can have lasting impacts. It reminds you that behind every relationship lies a hidden network of influences and shared moments, waiting to be discovered. This gentle pull, while mysterious, also brings comfort, suggesting that you are never truly alone, that every life is interwoven with the lives of others in a delicate tapestry of fate and serendipity. The story, in revealing these unseen connections, invites you to look at your own life and recognize that sometimes the most significant relationships are those you cannot see, yet feel deeply in your heart. 39. The ripple effect, small actions creating big changes. In many stories, seemingly insignificant actions set off a chain of events that dramatically alter the course of the narrative. This is known as the ripple effect, where a small, almost unnoticed gesture creates waves that expand far beyond its original point of impact. Imagine a scene where a character decides to help a stranger with a simple act of kindness. What begins as a quiet moment of generosity soon spirals into a series of unforeseen events that change not only the lives of those involved but also the broader world around them. The initial act, as modest as it might seem, sends out ripples that connect disparate parts of the story, transforming individual destinies in ways that the characters could never have anticipated. The ripple effect mirrors real life, where a kind word, a shared smile, or a small decision can have far-reaching consequences. As the narrative unfolds, you notice how each ripple interlocks with others, building a complex web of cause and effect. A chance encounter might lead to a newfound friendship, or a moment of hesitation might trigger a cascade of missed opportunities. These interconnected events remind you that nothing in life is trivial. Every action, however small, carries the potential to make a significant impact. The story invites you to consider your own choices and how even minor decisions can shape your future in surprising ways. It challenges the idea that only grand gestures matter, instead highlighting the beauty of subtle moments that, over time, accumulate into profound change. Through the ripple effect, the narrative teaches you to appreciate the power of small acts and to recognize that you, too, can create waves that extend far beyond the moment. It is a reminder that every action has value and that the cumulative impact of these actions can lead to transformation and renewal. 40. The paradox of redemption, finding hope in the wake of failure. Redemption in storytelling is a powerful theme where characters, after experiencing deep failure or despair, find a way to rise again and reclaim hope. This paradox of redemption shows that even the darkest moments can pave the way for new beginnings. Imagine a character who, burdened by past mistakes and overwhelming guilt, seems destined to remain in the shadows of regret. Over time, however, small acts of courage and kindness begin to light the way out of despair. As the character confronts the consequences of their actions and learns to forgive themselves, they slowly rediscover their inner strength. This journey from failure to redemption is filled with setbacks, moments of self-doubt, and quiet victories that eventually combine to create a profound transformation. The process of redemption is much like tending to a neglected garden. It requires patience, care, and the willingness to let go of old, withered habits in favor of nurturing new growth. Each step forward, no matter how small, builds upon the last, gradually turning pain into purpose. The narrative shows you that redemption is not an instantaneous miracle but a series of deliberate choices and hard-won lessons. It encourages you to see failure not as the end of the story, but as a necessary part of the journey towards self-improvement and healing. In everyday life, you may have witnessed or experienced moments where setbacks led to unexpected opportunities for growth. The paradox of redemption teaches you that while the scars of failure may remain, they can also serve as reminders of how far you have come. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, an affirmation that no matter how deep the fall, there is always the possibility of rising again and finding hope in the wake of failure. This transformative journey invites you to embrace your imperfections and to believe in the power of renewal, knowing that every end can also be a new beginning. 41. The paradox of lost time, moments that slip away. In many stories, time is portrayed as a precious resource that relentlessly escapes our grasp, leaving behind a trail of memories and unfulfilled wishes. This paradox of lost time shows that no matter how deeply we try to cling to a moment, it inevitably fades into the background of our lives. Picture a character standing on a windswept beach at sunset, watching as the golden light slowly vanishes. That moment, filled with the warmth of laughter, the bittersweet touch of nostalgia, and the quiet promise of tomorrow, is gone before it can be fully savored. Yet, its memory lingers like an echo, influencing every decision that follows. The narrative gently reminds you that lost time is not merely a regretful absence. It is also the space in which new experiences are born. Every tick of the clock carries away a fragment of our past, but in doing so, it makes room for the future. This idea is much like trying to grasp water in your hands. The tighter you hold, the more it slips away. The character's struggle with the passage of time is depicted as both a source of pain and a catalyst for growth. As they learn to accept that moments are transient, they begin to cherish the present with renewed passion. The story invites you to reflect on your own life, on the fleeting nature of a smile shared with a friend, a secret whispered in confidence, or the simple joy of a quiet morning. In embracing the loss of time, the narrative also offers a subtle lesson in mindfulness. It teaches you that while you cannot stop time, you can choose to live fully in the now, savoring every moment for its unique beauty. This paradox of lost time, with its gentle blend of melancholy and hope, encourages you to let go of the past and open your heart to the endless possibilities of the future, knowing that every second, once past, contributes to the intricate tapestry of your life. 42. The paradox of hidden desires, secrets that shape the soul. Many narratives explore the idea that our deepest longings often lie hidden beneath the surface, influencing our lives in ways that remain unseen. The paradox of hidden desires reveals that what we secretly yearn for can shape our actions and destiny, even when we never voice these aspirations openly. Imagine a character who appears calm and composed in public, yet carries within them a burning desire for change, a wish to break free from the mundane and embrace a life filled with passion and adventure. These desires, kept close like cherished secrets, act as a quiet force driving every decision. They are the inner flames that light the path forward, even when the world around seems indifferent. The narrative unfolds as the character slowly confronts these buried wishes. A fleeting glance, a whispered thought in solitude, or an unexpected spark of inspiration gradually brings these hidden desires into focus. They create an internal tension, a push and pull between what is and what might be. This internal battle is portrayed as both painful and transformative, as the character learns that acknowledging these secret aspirations is the first step toward genuine change. Much like a garden that lies dormant under winter's chill, these desires wait for the right moment to bloom. revealing a vibrant inner life that has long been overshadowed by fear or convention. The story challenges you to recognize that your own unspoken hopes carry immense power. In the quiet corners of your heart, these desires shape your dreams and fuel your determination. The paradox of hidden desires, with its blend of subtlety and intensity, invites you to embrace the parts of yourself that remain unseen, trusting that the secret truths you hold can lead to a profound transformation of your life. 43. The paradox of illusory boundaries. When limits vanish, in many tales, the limits we assume exist between people, places, or ideas begin to blur and sometimes vanish altogether. This is the paradox of illusory boundaries, where what appears to be a rigid barrier is revealed to be as flexible and ephemeral as a mist at dawn. Imagine a narrative where a character, raised in a strict society with clearly defined roles, suddenly finds that the lines separating their world are not as permanent as they once believed. One moment, a wall seems insurmountable. The next, a chance encounter or a moment of revelation shows that these boundaries are only constructs, open to reinterpretation and change. The story paints a picture of a world where divisions, be they emotional, social, or physical, are not fixed but are instead meant to be transcended. Every challenge to these boundaries becomes a stepping stone to personal freedom and deeper connection. As the character takes bold steps beyond what was once thought possible, the narrative reveals that the limits imposed on us are often self-made or inherited from outdated traditions. It's like realizing that the fences you see in a dream were never real at all, but merely suggestions of where comfort ends and the unknown begins. This idea resonates with you because it mirrors your own experiences of breaking free from constraints, whether in relationships or personal growth. The paradox of illusory boundaries invites you to question what truly limits you and to recognize that by shifting your perspective, you can dissolve these barriers. In doing so, you open yourself up to a world where every connection is possible and every horizon is within reach. 44. The paradox of echoed laughter, joy amidst sorrow. In many narratives, moments of laughter and unexpected joy emerge even when the weight of sorrow hangs heavy in the air. This paradox of echoed laughter captures the delicate balance between light and dark, where even the deepest pain can give way to moments of genuine mirth. Imagine a scene in which a character, burdened by loss or regret, suddenly finds themselves caught in a spontaneous burst of laughter, a sound that resonates like a clear bell amidst the storm of their emotions. That laughter, though seemingly out of place, becomes a powerful reminder that life's beauty persists even in times of despair. The narrative explores how echoed laughter serves as both a refuge and a catalyst for healing. It is not a denial of sorrow but a gentle defiance against it. The laughter is soft and unassuming, yet it carries a message of resilience, a declaration that joy can still be found in the midst of grief. As you follow the character's journey, you witness moments when a shared smile, a playful quip, or a tender joke breaks through the layers of pain. Each burst of laughter echoes like a promise that the future holds the potential for renewal, even if the present is shrouded in melancholy. This interplay between sorrow and joy is portrayed as an essential part of the human experience, where every tear may eventually be met with a smile. The paradox of echoed laughter challenges you to see that happiness is not the absence of sorrow, but rather the courage to find light when all seems dark. It invites you to embrace the full spectrum of your emotions, knowing that within the depths of despair there is always a spark of hope waiting to be kindled by a simple, heartfelt laugh. 45. The paradox of unwritten legacies, stories that transcend time. Some narratives celebrate the idea that our lives do not end with a final chapter. Instead, they leave behind legacies that remain unwritten, continuously evolving with each new moment. This paradox of unwritten legacies reveals that the true impact of our actions is not confined to a single moment or a neatly packaged conclusion but is an ongoing story that transcends time. Imagine a character whose life, marked by ordinary acts of kindness and quiet bravery, sends ripples across generations. Although their story might not be recorded in grand history books or celebrated in public monuments, It lives on in the hearts and memories of those they touched. Every decision they make, no matter how small, adds a new chapter to an unwritten legacy, a legacy that grows with every retelling, every act of compassion, and every lesson learned. The narrative unfolds as you witness how seemingly inconsequential moments accumulate over time, forging connections between people and events that span far beyond the character's own lifetime. It's like a handwritten note passed from one person to another, each recipient adding their own words until it becomes a tapestry of shared experience. This idea resonates deeply because it challenges the notion that legacy must be a monumental achievement. Instead, it celebrates the beauty of everyday actions, the gentle smile, the helping hand, the quiet moment of understanding that quietly shape the world around us. The paradox of unwritten legacies invites you to reflect on your own life, recognizing that every gesture, every interaction, contributes to a story that will continue long after you have gone. It is a call to live authentically and compassionately, knowing that your impact is not measured solely by grand accomplishments but by the enduring echoes of love and care that ripple through time. 46. The paradox of chance encounters, fate in randomness. In many stories, unexpected meetings occur in the most ordinary places, and these chance encounters seem to steer the course of a character's life in ways they never imagined. Picture a scene where a character strolls through a busy market or sits quietly in a park when suddenly, they cross paths with a stranger whose words spark a revelation. At first glance, this meeting appears random, a mere twist of fate with no planned purpose. Yet, as the story unfolds, you begin to notice that these brief moments hold the power to redirect the character's journey. The unexpected conversation or an unplanned gesture acts like a spark, igniting a series of events that ripple far beyond that single encounter. Just like tossing a small stone into a still pond creates expanding ripples, a fleeting meeting can set off a chain reaction of choices, decisions, and unforeseen opportunities. This paradox challenges the idea that destiny is entirely controlled by our deliberate actions. Instead, it suggests that life is also shaped by moments that we do not consciously choose. The randomness of these encounters makes you wonder if every meeting, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the moment, is part of a larger tapestry woven by unseen forces. You might recall a time in your own life when a chance conversation led to a new friendship or even a major opportunity, proof that the universe sometimes works in mysterious, unpredictable ways. As you follow the narrative, you notice that these moments of serendipity not only open doors but also offer a new perspective on what is possible. They invite you to stay alert and open-hearted, ready to embrace the unknown and trust that even the smallest interaction can alter your future. In this way, the paradox of chance encounters reminds you that life is full of surprises, and that fate often hides in plain sight, waiting for you to notice its quiet, transformative power. 47. The paradox of silent struggles, the unseen battle within. In many narratives, the most intense battles are not fought with loud confrontations or dramatic showdowns but in the quiet depths of a character's heart. This is the paradox of silent struggles, where inner conflicts and personal doubts wage a war far more complex than any visible foe. Imagine a character who, on the surface, seems composed and untroubled, yet deep inside, is wrestling with fears, regrets, and unspoken pain. These silent struggles may be hidden behind gentle smiles or brief, fleeting moments of introspection, and they often remain invisible to everyone except the character themselves. This internal battle is like a storm that rages quietly within, a force that influences every decision, every small gesture, and even the tone of a passing conversation. The narrative paints these silent moments with great care, showing how a single thought or memory can bring a surge of emotion that transforms the character's world. Just as you might have experienced a day when worries weighed on you so heavily that even a simple task felt daunting, these characters grapple with inner turmoil that no one else sees. Their struggles become a private, ongoing conflict, a reminder that even the calmest surface can hide a turbulent undercurrent. As the story unfolds, You begin to appreciate the courage it takes for someone to face their own inner demons without outward fanfare. The silent struggle teaches you that strength is not always shown through bold actions, but sometimes through the quiet perseverance of the heart. It invites you to reflect on your own hidden battles and to understand that true resilience often lies in confronting what you fear most within yourself. The paradox of silent struggles transforms the narrative into a gentle yet powerful reminder that every person carries an unseen story of hardship and hope, a story that, when acknowledged, can lead to healing and a deeper understanding of what it means to be truly brave. 48. The paradox of shattered illusions, reality beyond appearances. Stories often begin with characters embracing a set of beliefs or perceptions that seem absolute and unchangeable. Yet as the narrative unfolds, these illusions start to crack, revealing a more complicated and sometimes unsettling reality beneath the surface. This is the paradox of shattered illusions, where what once appeared to be truth dissolves into a mosaic of unexpected insights. Imagine a character who has always trusted a seemingly flawless system or ideal, only to discover, through small inconsistencies and surprising events, that things are not as they appear. The gradual crumbling of these long-held beliefs forces the character, and you, the reader, to confront the possibility that reality is far more nuanced than the comforting simplicity of old illusions. This process is akin to watching a beautiful, polished mirror slowly fracture, scattering reflections into many fragments, each one showing a different aspect of the truth. The narrative uses these moments of disillusionment to encourage deeper reflection. As the character pieces together the remnants of their shattered worldview, they begin to understand that the real world is messy and unpredictable. Each broken shard represents a fragment of truth previously hidden behind a veneer of certainty. The experience is both painful and liberating. It forces the character to question everything they once took for granted and to rebuild their understanding from the ground up. In everyday life, you may have experienced similar moments when an ideal or belief you held dear was challenged by new experiences or revelations. The paradox of shattered illusions reminds you that growth often comes from questioning the familiar and embracing complexity. It teaches that while the loss of an illusion can be disorienting, it also opens the door to a richer, more authentic grasp of reality. The narrative ultimately shows that by letting go of what is no longer sustainable, you make space for a more truthful and meaningful perspective, one that acknowledges both the beauty and the flaws of the world around you. 49. The paradox of renewed hope, finding light in dark times. In many stories, moments of despair and darkness seem to stretch endlessly, yet within that gloom, a spark of hope manages to flicker to life. This is the paradox of renewed hope, when even in the bleakest moments, something small and unexpected emerges to guide a character toward a better future. Imagine a scene where a character, overwhelmed by loss or failure, feels that all is lost. Just as the weight of the world seems unbearable, a gentle act of kindness or a sudden realization pierces the darkness, offering a glimmer of possibility. This renewed hope is not a grand, miraculous event but a quiet assurance that change is possible, even if it comes in small, almost imperceptible doses. The narrative captures this transformation as if painting with light on a canvas of shadows. The character's journey through hardship is marked by subtle shifts, a soft smile from a stranger, a memory of happier times, or an inner voice that dares to whisper, "Keep going." These moments accumulate, slowly rekindling a belief that things can improve. The paradox lies in the way that hope often seems to emerge most strongly when all other options appear to have failed. It is as if the universe itself is whispering that no matter how deep the darkness, there is always a way to see the light. This idea resonates deeply because it mirrors real-life experiences where setbacks and sorrow eventually give way to resilience and renewal. The character's gradual rediscovery of hope reminds you that every setback is an opportunity to rebuild and that even the smallest sign of improvement can ignite a powerful drive to move forward. It teaches that hope is not a constant state but a journey, one that may falter but can be revived through perseverance, compassion, and self-belief. In the end, The paradox of renewed hope becomes a testament to the human spirit's capacity to overcome, inspiring you to look for that spark of light in your own darkest moments. 50. The paradox of eternal questions. The search for meaning without answers. Some stories leave you with questions that echo long after the final page is turned, embodying the paradox of eternal questions, where the quest for meaning continues even when clear answers are elusive. Imagine a narrative that explores profound themes such as life, destiny, and truth, yet intentionally refrains from offering neat, definitive conclusions. The characters grapple with mysteries and dilemmas that mirror the complexities of real life. Every decision, every twist in the plot, seems to deepen the mystery rather than resolve it, inviting you to ponder the endless nature of inquiry. This paradox is like walking along a winding path in a vast forest with no clear destination. Each step you take reveals new wonders and unanswered questions, encouraging you to explore further rather than settling for easy answers. The narrative is designed to spark reflection, prompting you to ask your own questions about the nature of existence and the forces that shape our lives. While the story may present certain ideas or hints, it deliberately leaves gaps, spaces where your mind can wander and fill in the blanks with your personal insights and experiences. The beauty of eternal questions is that they mirror the human condition. Our lives are filled with uncertainties, and sometimes, the search for understanding is more valuable than any final answer. As you journey through the narrative, you are invited to embrace ambiguity and uncertainty as essential parts of life. The characters' struggles with questions that have no simple answers become a reflection of your own experiences, making the story profoundly relatable. This open-ended quest challenges the notion that every mystery must be solved, instead celebrating the ongoing process of learning, questioning, and growing. In a world where answers can often feel temporary, the paradox of eternal questions reassures you that the pursuit of meaning is a lifelong adventure, a journey filled with wonder, curiosity, and the realization that sometimes, the questions themselves are the true treasure. 51. The paradox of unseen strength, finding courage in vulnerability. In many narratives, the true measure of a character is revealed not in moments of loud triumph but in the quiet, often hidden displays of vulnerability. This paradox of unseen strength shows that sometimes what appears as fragility on the surface is actually the source of deep courage. Imagine a character who, after facing numerous setbacks and heartaches, appears timid and unsure. Yet, when confronted with a situation that demands honesty or empathy, they summon a quiet determination that surprises everyone, including themselves. Their vulnerability, tears that fall in solitude, a whispered confession of fear, or a silent moment of reflection, becomes a powerful testament to inner resilience. This strength is not built on bravado or a relentless refusal to show weakness. Rather, it blossoms in the recognition and acceptance of one's own imperfections. Like a delicate flower that pushes through a crack in the concrete, the characters' soft moments of vulnerability allow them to grow in ways that brute force never could. The narrative gently reminds you that real power often lies in the ability to be open, to admit pain, and to use that admission as a stepping stone toward healing. Every quiet confession and every tear shed in solitude becomes a building block of a courage that is both tender and formidable. As you follow their journey, you begin to see that the world values not only heroic displays of strength but also the gentle, unseen acts of bravery that come from confronting personal demons. It is in those moments of raw vulnerability that the character's true spirit is unveiled, a spirit that finds strength in the very act of being honest with oneself. This paradox invites you to reflect on your own life and recognize that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a doorway to resilience and growth. By embracing the parts of yourself that feel exposed or fragile, you open the possibility for transformation, discovering that even the softest whisper of courage can echo powerfully in the face of adversity. 52. The paradox of uncertain futures. Embracing the unknown. Many stories capture the tension between the comfort of predictability and the wild allure of the unknown. This paradox of uncertain futures suggests that while the future may be shrouded in mystery, It is in that uncertainty that life's most exciting possibilities reside. Picture a character standing at the crossroads of a decision that could alter the entire course of their life. Instead of a clear, predetermined path, they face a range of outcomes, each as uncertain as the next. The narrative paints this scenario as a delicate balance between fear and hope, where the unknown is not something to be dreaded but an invitation to explore. The character's journey is marked by hesitations, moments of doubt, and the anxiety of stepping into uncharted territory. Yet, with every tentative step into the unknown, they discover hidden strengths and unexpected opportunities. Much like a seed that must break through the soil before it can bloom, the character's future only comes into full view when they dare to leave behind the safety of certainty. The story encourages you to see that the unpredictability of the future can be a source of wonder, a blank canvas upon which you are free to paint new dreams and ambitions. As you watch the character navigate through uncertainty, you are invited to question your own relationship with the future. Instead of clinging to the illusion of control, you learn that embracing the unknown can lead to a richer, more fulfilling life. Every twist and turn, even those that initially seem frightening, can reveal layers of potential that were previously hidden. The paradox of uncertain futures is a gentle reminder that while we cannot predict every outcome, the adventure of life lies in its endless possibilities. By opening your heart to uncertainty, you allow yourself to experience growth, discovery, and the transformative power of hope. 53. The paradox of shared solitude, finding unity in isolation. In many narratives, characters who find themselves isolated or alone discover a surprising sense of connection and shared experience. This paradox of shared solitude reveals that even in moments of isolation, you are never truly alone. Imagine a character who retreats into solitude after experiencing a painful loss or betrayal. Initially, they might feel as if the walls around them are impenetrable, isolating them from the rest of the world. Yet, as the story unfolds, they begin to realize that within their isolation lies a quiet understanding of others who have suffered similar losses. This solitary state becomes a mirror in which they see reflections of the collective human experience. Each tear, each silent prayer, and every unspoken thought linking them to countless others who have walked a similar path. The narrative uses these moments to show that solitude, rather than being a barren void, can be fertile ground for self-discovery and empathy. In the quiet of isolation, the character learns to listen to the soft echoes of shared pain and hope. Their solitary moments are interwoven with memories of conversations, letters, or even dreams that remind them of a community that understands and cares, even from afar. As you journey with the character, you begin to appreciate that the feeling of being alone does not equate to a lack of connection. Instead, it opens a pathway to a deeper, more meaningful bond with the world. The paradox of shared solitude invites you to find unity in moments when you feel isolated, reminding you that your experiences, however private, are threads in the vast tapestry of human existence. It gently encourages you to reach out, even if just in thought, and realize that your silent struggles resonate with others, creating an invisible network of shared understanding and care. 54. The paradox of dreamlike reality. When imagination molds the world, some stories blur the line between what is real and what is imagined, creating a dreamlike reality where the power of imagination shapes every moment. This paradox of dreamlike reality challenges you to see that the boundaries between the tangible and the fantastical are often not as clear-cut as they seem. Imagine a character who, caught between the dull routines of daily life and the vibrant world of their own dreams, begins to see hints of magic in the mundane. In this narrative, the characters' inner imaginations are not mere flights of fancy but potent forces that influence their decisions, relationships, and even the physical environment around them. Every whispered hope, every secret wish, and every vivid daydream becomes a part of the tapestry of their reality. The narrative invites you to consider that our perceptions of the world are deeply intertwined with our inner lives. When a character allows their imagination to take the lead, ordinary moments transform into extraordinary experiences. A walk in the park might become a journey through enchanted forests, and a simple conversation might reveal hidden messages of love and loss. The story gently blurs the line between fact and fantasy, suggesting that the world is as rich and varied as the dreams we dare to dream. This interplay between the real and the imagined resonates with you because it reflects your own inner life, a place where the boundaries of reality often stretch to accommodate your wildest aspirations and deepest fears. The paradox of dreamlike reality teaches you that sometimes it is not the strict confines of the physical world that define us, but the limitless realm of our imagination. By embracing this blend, the narrative shows you that creativity and reality are not opposites but partners, capable of transforming everyday life into a magical, ever-evolving journey. It invites you to explore the power of your own dreams, knowing that they, too, can shape the world around you in profound and unexpected ways. 55. The paradox of lingering memories. The past that never lets go. In many narratives, memories are not simply echoes of what has passed. They are active, living forces that shape the present and hint at what the future might hold. This paradox of lingering memories suggests that the past, with all its joys and sorrows, continues to influence our lives long after the moments have faded. Imagine a character who is haunted by a memory of a lost love or a long-forgotten mistake. Although time marches on, that memory clings stubbornly, coloring every decision and every emotion with its presence. The narrative portrays these memories as both burdens and treasures, painful reminders of what was lost, yet also markers of experiences that made the character who they are today. These recollections are like delicate threads woven through the fabric of daily life, sometimes bright with the warmth of nostalgia and other times heavy with regret. As the character navigates their present, the past appears in unexpected places, a familiar scent, a stray piece of music, or a fleeting moment of déjà vu. Each appearance stirs a cascade of feelings, revealing that nothing truly disappears, it merely transforms, lingering in the corners of the mind, ready to resurface when least expected. The story gently challenges you to acknowledge that while the past can sometimes be a source of pain, it also holds the keys to understanding your true self. Every memory, whether sweet or sorrowful, becomes a part of a continuous narrative that binds you to your history. This paradox of lingering memories invites you to reflect on the idea that you are a tapestry woven from all that has happened before. It teaches that rather than trying to forget or erase painful moments, there is strength in accepting them as part of your journey. In doing so, you can learn to honor the past while still embracing the promise of tomorrow. The narrative ultimately suggests that memories, however persistent, are not chains but stepping stones, markers that guide you along the path of life, reminding you that every experience, no matter how distant, has helped shape the person you have become. 56. The paradox of fleeting moments. The beauty in transience. In many stories, the most precious experiences are those that pass in the blink of an eye, moments so brief yet filled with emotion that they leave a lasting mark on the heart. This paradox of fleeting moments reminds you that beauty and meaning often reside in the transitory nature of life. Picture a character who, for just a few seconds, feels an overwhelming sense of joy as they watch a sunrise or share a silent smile with a stranger. These brief instants, though ephemeral, alter their inner world, planting seeds of hope and transformation that continue to grow long after the moment has passed. The narrative captures these moments like delicate fireflies, their light glowing even in the darkest nights. As you follow the character's journey, you notice that the fleeting nature of these experiences forces them to cherish every detail: the gentle warmth of the sun on their face, the soft murmur of a passing breeze, or the spark of connection in a shared glance. It is in these transient episodes that life's impermanence becomes a canvas upon which deeper truths are painted. The brevity of the moment creates a sense of urgency, inviting you to live fully in the present and to recognize that nothing lasts forever, not even the hardest times. This idea resonates because it mirrors your own experiences: a laugh that echoes briefly yet brightens a long day, or a tender moment that vanishes too quickly but remains vivid in memory. The paradox of fleeting moments teaches you that the transient nature of life is not a weakness but a profound source of beauty. It is a reminder that every passing second holds the potential for transformation, and that the impermanence of an experience makes it all the more precious. By embracing the transient, you learn to let go of what cannot be held and to find gratitude in every brief encounter, knowing that in each small moment lies the power to change everything. 57. The paradox of dual realities. Living in two worlds. In many narratives, characters find themselves straddling two distinct realities, one that is visible to the eye and another that exists deep within the mind and heart. This paradox of dual realities illustrates that what you see on the surface is only a fraction of the truth. Imagine a character whose daily life seems ordinary, yet beneath this calm facade, an entirely different world of dreams, memories, and unspoken emotions thrives. Every decision, every interaction, is influenced not only by the tangible world but also by an inner realm where feelings and fantasies intermingle. The narrative unfolds like a painting with hidden layers. On one level, the character navigates familiar routines, relationships, and challenges. Yet in quiet moments, when they are alone with their thoughts, the other reality emerges. Vivid recollections of past joys and sorrows, a cascade of aspirations and doubts that color every choice they make. These dual aspects of existence create a tension that is both disorienting and enlightening. You begin to see that the character's actions, no matter how rational they seem on the surface, are deeply influenced by the unseen forces of their inner life. This duality mirrors your own experience of living in a world where what is visible and what is felt can differ greatly. The paradox of dual realities challenges you to acknowledge that every person harbors an inner world as rich and complex as the one they share with others. It reminds you that true understanding comes from looking beyond appearances and recognizing the hidden narratives that shape behavior. As the character learns to balance these two realms, the story invites you to explore the delicate interplay between external circumstances and inner truth, showing that both worlds are essential parts of a complete, authentic life. 58. The paradox of internal reflections. The mirror of the soul. Some stories invite you to journey inward, exploring the inner landscape of a character's mind where reflections of their true self are both revealing and elusive. This paradox of internal reflections suggests that the most profound truths about who we are can only be discovered by looking into the mirror of our own souls. Imagine a character who, at the end of a long day, sits in quiet solitude, contemplating their experiences and emotions. In that reflective state, they see fragments of their past, dreams of the future, and the intricate interplay of hope and regret that defines their existence. The narrative treats these internal reflections as if they were delicate whispers of truth, spoken in the silence between heartbeats. As the character delves deeper into their inner world, they confront memories that have shaped them and fears that hold them back. Each thought and feeling becomes a piece of a puzzle, offering clues to the mystery of their identity. The act of reflection is not always easy. It can be filled with discomfort as old wounds are revisited and long-forgotten desires resurface. Yet, it is through this process that the character gradually uncovers the strength hidden within their vulnerabilities. This introspective journey resonates with you because it mirrors the universal experience of self-discovery. We all have moments when we pause and look inward, seeking to understand the person we have become. The paradox of internal reflections reminds you that the answers you seek often lie not in the external world but within your own thoughts and feelings. It encourages you to embrace both the light and shadow within, understanding that every reflection, however fleeting, contributes to the fuller picture of who you are. By valuing these moments of self-awareness, the narrative reveals that the true essence of life is found in the quiet, honest exploration of one's inner self. 59. The paradox of silent bonds. The unspoken ties that connect us. In many narratives, the most powerful connections between characters are formed without a single word being spoken. This paradox of silent bonds shows that the depth of human relationships is not measured solely by dialogue, but by the unspoken understanding and shared moments of vulnerability that bind us together. Imagine a scene where two individuals, separated by differences in background or circumstance, find themselves drawn together through a mutual look or a shared gesture. Their connection, though wordless, speaks volumes about empathy, compassion, and the universal need to be understood. The narrative captures these silent bonds as delicate threads woven through everyday interactions. A gentle touch, a lingering glance, or a moment of mutual recognition can create a sense of intimacy that transcends conventional communication. The characters might not express their feelings in elaborate conversations, yet every unspoken moment is filled with meaning. These silent ties act as bridges, connecting hearts in a way that words sometimes fail to do. As the story unfolds, you begin to see that these moments of unvoiced understanding are as powerful as any declaration of love or loyalty. This paradox is deeply relatable because, in your own life, there are times when a look or a shared silence has conveyed more than any spoken sentence ever could. It reminds you that genuine connection often lies in the ability to understand another's soul without the need for explanation. The silent bonds that tie characters together serve as a quiet testament to the beauty of empathy, a reminder that the most profound relationships are built on the unspoken recognition of shared humanity. As you experience these subtle moments in the narrative, you come to appreciate that sometimes, the deepest connections are those that need no words at all. 60. The paradox of uncharted paths. Embracing life's mysterious journey, every story has a turning point where the familiar gives way to the unknown, inviting characters, and you as the reader, to step into uncharted territory. This paradox of uncharted paths illustrates that the beauty of life often lies in its mysteries, in the adventures that unfold when you leave behind the safety of the known. Picture a character standing at a crossroads, faced with a decision that promises to alter the course of their destiny. The road ahead is shrouded in uncertainty, with twists and turns that defy all expectations. Yet, it is precisely in that uncertainty that the character finds the courage to embrace the journey. The narrative portrays these uncharted paths as both daunting and exhilarating, a blend of fear and excitement that mirrors the experience of taking a leap of faith. Every step into the unknown is a step toward self-discovery, revealing hidden strengths, unforeseen challenges, and moments of profound revelation. As the character ventures into unexplored realms, they encounter obstacles that test their resolve and opportunities that expand their perspective on life. The journey becomes a tapestry of experiences, each thread woven from risk and the relentless pursuit of growth. This paradox speaks to you because it mirrors your own experiences of facing uncertainty. Life is rarely a straight line. It is a winding road filled with surprises, both joyful and challenging. The uncharted paths in the narrative remind you that while the future may be unpredictable, it is also ripe with possibility. They encourage you to leave behind the comfort of the known and to trust that every unknown twist holds the potential for transformation. By embracing life's mysterious journey, you learn that the courage to explore the uncharted is itself a reward, a reminder that every step forward, even into the unknown, brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. 61. The paradox of invisible dreams, the silent aspirations that fuel change. In many stories, the most powerful forces are not those shouted from the rooftops but rather the quiet, unseen dreams that dwell deep within a character's heart. This paradox of invisible dreams reminds you that even when aspirations remain unspoken, they can ignite change in ways that are both subtle and profound. Imagine a character who appears ordinary to the world, a person who goes through each day with routine and reserve. Yet beneath this calm surface lies a hidden world of desires and ambitions that are rarely revealed. These silent aspirations might manifest as a fleeting moment of determination, a secret notebook filled with hopes, or the soft glow in their eyes when they think no one is watching. The narrative unfolds by gently exposing these inner fires, showing that dreams, though invisible, can shape every decision and action. The story portrays these hidden dreams as seeds waiting for the right conditions to sprout. Much like a delicate bud that blooms only when the warmth of the sun touches it, these unspoken hopes require courage to break free from the confines of silence. As the character confronts obstacles, the invisible dream becomes a quiet beacon, guiding them through challenges and offering solace when the world seems indifferent. The paradox lies in the fact that while the dream remains hidden from public view, its impact is tangible, steering the character toward unexpected transformations. You begin to see that these silent aspirations are not insignificant. They are the undercurrents that drive change, resilience, and personal evolution. In this way, the narrative gently nudges you to consider your own unvoiced hopes and recognize that even when they seem to vanish into the background, they possess the power to reshape your destiny. Ultimately, the paradox of invisible dreams teaches you that true change often starts in the quiet corners of the heart, where the most profound ambitions are nurtured away from the glare of the spotlight. 62. The paradox of shifting identities, the constant flux of self. In many narratives, characters experience a transformation that feels as fluid as water, where identity is not fixed but constantly evolving. This paradox of shifting identities challenges the notion that who we are can be neatly defined at any one moment. Imagine a character who, over the course of the story, begins to question long-held beliefs about themselves. First, they might seem confident and secure in their role, yet subtle changes in perspective slowly reveal layers of complexity and contradiction. Their actions, choices, and even the dreams they nurture shift like the tides, reflecting new experiences and evolving understandings of life. The narrative captures this transformation by showing how every encounter, every triumph and failure, reshapes the character's sense of self. It is like watching a painting gradually change its colors under shifting light. Each brushstroke of experience adds depth and nuance. You see them struggle with the tension between their past and the person they aspire to become, all while external forces and internal conflicts pull them in different directions. The shifting identity is not a sign of weakness but a testament to the dynamic nature of life itself. As you follow their journey, you begin to realize that the very act of changing is an essential part of growth. This paradox resonates because it mirrors the experiences you might have felt when faced with new challenges or perspectives. The idea that who you are today may not be the same as who you will be tomorrow is both humbling and empowering. It encourages you to embrace uncertainty and to find beauty in the ever-changing tapestry of your identity. In the end, the narrative suggests that the flux of self is what makes life rich and unpredictable, a constant dance between the past and the future, forging a path that is uniquely your own. 63. The paradox of unspoken truths, the weight of what remains unsaid. In many narratives, the most resonant truths are not declared in bold proclamations but linger quietly in the spaces between words. This paradox of unspoken truths reveals that what is left unsaid can carry a weight far greater than the loudest declaration. Imagine a scene where two characters share a long, lingering silence after a moment of deep emotional intensity. Though no words are exchanged, the silence is laden with meaning, each pause a testament to hidden pain, longing, or understanding that neither feels capable of articulating. The narrative shows that unspoken truths can be as powerful as overt confessions. They emerge in a tearful glance, a hesitant touch, or even in the thoughtful quiet that follows an emotional storm. This silence forms a language of its own, where every unsaid word speaks to the heart in a way that spoken language often cannot. The paradox lies in the idea that by withholding words, the characters reveal their innermost selves, fears, regrets, and hopes that are too fragile to be spoken aloud. It is as if the quiet itself becomes a repository for all that is true yet difficult to express. As you journey through the story, you come to understand that these silent moments are not gaps in the conversation but bridges to a deeper connection. They invite you to read between the lines and appreciate the subtle interplay of emotion and meaning. In your own life, you may have found that some of the most significant moments were not marked by declarations but by the shared understanding that passes silently between hearts. The paradox of unspoken truths challenges you to value the quiet, recognizing that sometimes the most important conversations happen without a single word being uttered. 64. The paradox of rewritten histories, how memories morph over time. In many narratives, The past is not a fixed record but a fluid story that is continually rewritten in the light of new experiences. This paradox of rewritten histories explores how memories, though seemingly solid, are malleable and subject to change. Imagine a character who, upon revisiting a long-forgotten place or encountering an old friend, begins to see their past through new eyes. The events they once recalled with certainty now appear tinged with uncertainty and emotion, a story reshaped by the present and colored by regret, or even misunderstanding. The narrative unfolds as the character grapples with the realization that memory is not a static snapshot but a dynamic process. Each retelling, each reflection, adds layers to their understanding of who they were and who they have become. It is like looking at a photograph that gradually transforms as you remember more details, some of which were never captured on film. The rewriting of history is both painful and liberating, for it allows the character to reframe moments of sorrow or triumph in a way that better fits their current reality. This idea resonates with you because it mirrors your own experience with memory, how time can soften harsh truths or amplify moments of joy until they seem almost different from what you once knew. The paradox of rewritten histories challenges the notion that the past is an unchangeable record. Instead, it suggests that our recollections are living parts of our identity, continuously reshaped by the passage of time. In embracing this fluidity, the narrative invites you to accept that while the past may be elusive, its evolution is a natural part of growth. Every memory, even when altered, contributes to the rich tapestry of who you are, offering a blend of nostalgia and renewal that propels you forward. 65. The paradox of timeless echoes, how the past continues to resonate. In many narratives, the echoes of the past reverberate through the present in ways that are both haunting and uplifting. This paradox of timeless echoes reveals that the experiences and memories of earlier days are never truly left behind. They persist like gentle ripples that shape the contours of today. Imagine a character who is deeply affected by an event long past, a moment of triumph, a devastating loss, or an act of kindness that left an indelible mark. Even as they move forward, that memory surfaces in unexpected places, a familiar song on the radio, a scent in the air, or a passing conversation that stirs old emotions and recollections. The narrative portrays these echoes as enduring threads that bind the present to the past. They remind the character of lessons learned, relationships cherished, and mistakes that still haunt them. Like a melody that plays softly in the background, these echoes are both a comfort and a challenge. They call you to remember who you once were, to acknowledge the experiences that have molded you, and to understand that every moment, no matter how distant, contributes to the person you have become. The paradox lies in the way that these timeless echoes can be both burdensome and inspiring. They can serve as reminders of pain and regret, yet also as beacons of hope and resilience, a duality that adds a profound depth to the character's journey. As you follow the narrative, you begin to see that the past is not something to be left behind but an integral part of your ongoing story. The echoes of history, with all their beauty and complexity, become the foundation upon which the future is built. This paradox of timeless echoes invites you to embrace your past, to listen to its quiet lessons, and to let those memories guide you toward a future enriched by the full spectrum of your experiences. In doing so, you learn that the echoes of the past can be a powerful source of wisdom, always resonating in the corridors of time. 66. The paradox of boundless horizons, how possibilities expand without limits. In many stories, the horizon appears to stretch infinitely, inviting characters to dream beyond what they once believed was possible. This paradox of boundless horizons shows that as you push against the edges of your known world, new vistas of opportunity unfurl before you like a vast, uncharted map. Imagine a character who has always lived within the confines of a small town, where every street and every face seems familiar. One day, a chance encounter or an unexpected invitation opens the door to a world far larger than they ever imagined. With each step away from the comfort of what is known, they begin to see that the possibilities are not limited by physical borders but by the boundaries of the mind. The narrative portrays these expanding horizons as a delicate interplay of hope, courage, and the willingness to risk the familiar for the promise of something greater. Every new experience, whether it is a breathtaking view from a mountain peak or a quiet conversation with a stranger who holds an entirely different perspective, reinforces the idea that life is full of potential. The character learns that every barrier they once assumed was unbreakable dissolves when met with an open heart and a curious mind. It is like watching the first light of dawn sweep away the dark, revealing a panorama of colors and shapes that were hidden in shadow. This paradox resonates deeply because it mirrors your own journey of growth. When you challenge your assumptions and step outside your comfort zone, you may find that the world is not as constricted as you once believed. The boundless horizons become a metaphor for the infinite possibilities that lie just beyond the next decision, the next risk. In this way, the narrative reminds you that life is an ever-evolving adventure where the limits are only as fixed as you allow them to be. The endless expanse of possibility encourages you to embrace change, to see every ending as the start of a new beginning, and to understand that true freedom lies in the willingness to explore what lies beyond the visible edge. 67. The paradox of forgotten promises, the weight of unkept vows. In many narratives, promises once made are left unfulfilled, casting long shadows over the present and shaping the paths of characters in unexpected ways. This paradox of forgotten promises explores how the echoes of unkept vows linger like silent burdens that shape relationships and destinies. Imagine a character who once swore to be there for a loved one, promising loyalty and support in moments of need. Over time, life's unpredictability causes that promise to fade into the background, yet the memory of it continues to influence every interaction and decision. The weight of those forgotten promises can haunt a person, creating a sense of longing or regret that refuses to vanish. The narrative unfolds as the character struggles with the gap between what was vowed and what actually transpired. In moments of quiet reflection, they recall the heartfelt words that once carried such great significance, only to confront the reality that life did not always honor those commitments. The broken promise becomes both a source of sorrow and a catalyst for growth, a painful reminder that trust, once lost, is hard to regain. Much like a delicate ornament shattered on the floor, each fragment of the forgotten promise tells a story of hope, disappointment, and the fragility of human connection. As you follow the character's journey, you come to see that unkept vows, however sorrowful, also offer lessons about the nature of commitment and forgiveness. They challenge you to reflect on your own experiences with promises made in haste or forgotten in the rush of life. This paradox teaches that while the pain of a broken promise may linger, it also opens a path to healing by encouraging honest conversations, introspection, and, ultimately, a renewed effort to honor what is truly important. The narrative suggests that though some promises may be forgotten, the lessons they impart can guide you toward building stronger, more sincere connections in the future. 68. The paradox of illumined darkness, finding clarity in the shadows. In many stories, darkness is not merely an absence of light but a canvas upon which the brightest truths are revealed. This paradox of illumined darkness shows that even in the deepest, most challenging times, clarity and wisdom can emerge from the shadows. Picture a character who finds themselves lost in a seemingly endless night, burdened by fear, grief, or uncertainty. As they navigate this darkness, they discover that it is not a void to be feared but a space where hidden strengths and insights come to life. The darkness, instead of obscuring the truth, becomes a medium through which the subtle glow of inner resilience and understanding can shine. The narrative paints these moments with a poetic contrast, the inky black of despair against the gentle, persistent glow of hope. Every hardship, every moment spent in the shadows, forces the character to look inward, seeking the light that exists even when all seems lost. The struggle to find clarity in darkness mirrors the way stars emerge on a moonless night, their brilliance more striking against the backdrop of obscurity. As the character learns to trust in the possibility of illumination even when the world feels engulfed in gloom, They come to understand that darkness is not the enemy but a necessary part of life's duality. It is in these moments of obscurity that the true contours of their character are defined, and the lessons of resilience and self-discovery are learned. This paradox resonates because it reflects the reality that some of life's most profound insights are gained during its most trying times. By embracing the darkness rather than resisting it, the narrative invites you to see that clarity often comes from the willingness to confront and learn from your deepest fears. It is a reminder that light and dark are not opposites but partners in the dance of existence, each enhancing the beauty and meaning of the other. 69. The paradox of converging paths. When lives intersect unexpectedly, in many narratives, the convergence of seemingly unrelated lives creates moments of profound transformation and meaning. This paradox of converging paths illustrates how destiny can weave together disparate stories, bringing together characters who might never have met, yet whose lives become inextricably linked by a shared purpose or moment of fate. Imagine a character journeying through life on a solitary road, each step a personal quest. Then, in an unexpected twist, their path crosses with another, someone whose experiences, though entirely different, resonate with their own hidden struggles and dreams. The meeting is not planned. It is as if the universe conspired to bring these souls together at just the right moment. The narrative unfolds with a series of coincidences and gentle nudges that draw the characters closer. Each shared glance, each brief conversation, hints at an underlying connection that defies logic and expectation. But, once parallel and solitary, begin to merge, creating a tapestry of intertwined destinies. This intersection is like the merging of two rivers, where the flow becomes richer and more vibrant as the waters combine, carrying with them the stories and lessons of both. The characters find that in coming together, they unlock parts of themselves that had long been dormant. Their challenges become shared, and their triumphs echo more powerfully, for they now have a partner on the journey. This paradox speaks to the beauty of human connection, how the chance encounter with another person can transform your perspective and alter your course. It invites you to consider that every interaction, no matter how brief, has the potential to change the trajectory of your life. In the converging paths of these characters, you see a reflection of your own experiences, where unexpected meetings have opened doors to new possibilities and enriched your understanding of what it means to be truly connected. The narrative ultimately suggests that while our journeys may begin alone, they are destined to intersect with others, creating bonds that shape our lives in beautiful, unpredictable ways. 70. The paradox of enduring whispers, the soft voices of history that guide the future. In many stories, the past is not a distant memory but a gentle whisper that continues to influence the future. This paradox of enduring whispers suggests that history speaks to us in subtle, persistent ways, through traditions, patterns, and quiet moments of reflection that shape the path forward long after the events have passed. Imagine a character who stumbles upon an old journal, a faded letter, or a timeless melody that carries the echoes of those who came before. These whispers are not loud proclamations but soft voices that murmur lessons of resilience, wisdom, and hope. They remind the character that the struggles, triumphs, and mistakes of the past are not merely relics to be forgotten, but living guides that illuminate the present and chart the course for the future. The narrative weaves these whispers into the fabric of everyday life, showing how each small piece of history, whether it is a family tradition passed down through generations or the lingering spirit of a long-forgotten hero, serves as a quiet beacon. These soft voices gently urge the character to learn from the past, to honor its lessons, and to use that knowledge to forge a better future. It is as if the history itself is a patient mentor, offering insights that are both timeless and deeply personal. As the character listens, they come to understand that every decision is enriched by the legacy of what has come before. The enduring whispers are a reminder that, though the future may be uncertain, it is built on the solid foundation of accumulated experience and shared memory. This paradox resonates with you because it mirrors the way traditions, stories, and ancestral wisdom continue to influence your own choices and dreams. The soft voices of history, though often overlooked, guide you subtly, urging you to remember that you are part of a continuum, a living story that spans generations. In embracing these enduring whispers, the narrative invites you to see that the past, far from being a closed chapter, is an ongoing conversation that enriches every step you take toward the future. 71. The paradox of hidden mirrors, unveiling the secrets within. In many stories, subtle reflections appear in unexpected places, offering glimpses into parts of the self that are often kept hidden. This paradox of hidden mirrors suggests that every person carries a secret world within, a collection of unacknowledged fears, dreams, and truths that only emerge when the light of introspection gently reveals them. Picture a character who, in a quiet moment of solitude, catches a fleeting reflection in a rain-soaked window or a broken shard of glass. In that brief, unexpected image, they see not only their face but also hints of emotions and experiences they have long kept buried. These hidden mirrors become a metaphor for the aspects of life that are not immediately visible, whispering of past joys, sorrows, and the untold chapters that shape who we truly are. The narrative unfolds by inviting you to search for these secret reflections, much like piecing together a puzzle from scattered, fragile pieces. Every hidden mirror in the story, whether it appears as an overlooked detail in a faded photograph, a half-remembered lullaby, or a silent pause after a difficult decision, carries with it a message about the complexity of human nature. The character learns that acknowledging these concealed parts of themselves is both a daunting and transformative act. As they gradually confront the truths reflected in these quiet moments, a path to healing and self-discovery emerges. The process is neither sudden nor simple. It requires patience, vulnerability, and the willingness to see beyond the surface of everyday life. In embracing the hidden mirrors, the story teaches you that the journey towards self-awareness is filled with delicate revelations that, when accepted, empower you to live more fully and honestly. This paradox gently reminds you that the most significant changes often come from within, sparked by the courage to face the truths that lie in the shadows of your own reflection. 72. The paradox of echoed promises, the lingering impact of broken vows. In many narratives, promises made in moments of passion or desperation do not simply vanish, they echo through time, shaping relationships and altering destinies. This paradox of echoed promises shows that even when vows are broken or forgotten, their lingering impact continues to influence the characters long after the words have been spoken. Imagine a character who once swore eternal loyalty or pledged to change the world, only to later face the painful consequences of unmet expectations. The memory of that promise reverberates in quiet moments, a familiar melody in an old song, the lingering scent of a perfume, or a recurring line in a cherished letter, reminding them of what was once hoped for and what ultimately was lost. The narrative uses these echoes as a thread connecting past aspirations with present realities. Each time the character encounters a situation that mirrors the broken vow, a subtle yet profound reminder of that promise stirs deep emotions. The unresolved tension between what was vowed and what became reality creates a tapestry of regret, resilience, and sometimes even redemption. As the character grapples with the weight of these unfulfilled pledges, they begin to understand that the true power of a promise lies not in its fulfillment but in its ability to shape choices, inspire change, and leave an indelible mark on the heart. The echoed promise becomes a silent guide, urging the character to learn from past mistakes and to forge a new path that honors the spirit of the vow, even if its literal words have faded away. This paradox encourages you to reflect on your own experiences with promises, how the words we speak can linger like a soft echo, influencing our future and molding our identity long after the moment has passed. 73. The paradox of transient roads, journeys marked by impermanence. In many narratives, the paths characters travel are as fleeting and mutable as the shifting sands of time. This paradox of transient roads suggests that every journey, no matter how significant, is marked by impermanence, reminding you that change is the only constant. Picture a character setting out on a long, winding road. each step taken on a path that twists unexpectedly, dissolving into a new direction with every sunrise. The landscape transforms before their eyes. A bustling city gives way to quiet, forgotten villages. Familiar landmarks vanish, replaced by the mysteries of unexplored territories. These transient roads are symbolic of life's ever-changing nature, where every destination is temporary and every route is a prelude to something new. As the narrative unfolds, you come to see that the beauty of the journey lies not in reaching a fixed end but in embracing the endless possibilities of change. The character learns to celebrate each transient moment, a serendipitous encounter on a rain-drenched street, the brief companionship of a fellow traveler, or the silent wonder of a starry night that soon gives way to dawn. These experiences, though ephemeral, accumulate to create a rich mosaic of memories and lessons. The transient roads become metaphors for the fluidity of identity and destiny. As the route changes, so too does the traveler, evolving with every turn and detour. The narrative gently reminds you that impermanence is not a loss but an invitation to continuously reinvent yourself, to welcome the unexpected, and to find meaning in the journey itself rather than in any final destination. 74. The paradox of silent storms. Turbulence hidden in calm. In many narratives, external calm often conceals a turbulent inner world, a quiet storm that rages unseen beneath the surface. This paradox of silent storms reveals that beneath the veneer of serenity, there may lie a maelstrom of emotions and conflicts waiting to be acknowledged. Imagine a character who, in public, appears composed and collected, yet inside, a storm of unresolved grief, anger, or longing swirls with relentless intensity. These silent storms manifest in subtle ways: a lingering gaze into the distance, a pause before responding, or a restless night filled with dreams of past turmoil. Though the storm is not expressed in boisterous outbursts, its impact is profound, shaping the character's decisions and coloring their interactions with a quiet, persistent force. The narrative carefully unfolds these hidden tempests, inviting you to delve beneath the surface of calm appearances and discover the raw, unspoken energy that drives the character forward. Every seemingly ordinary moment is imbued with an undercurrent of passion and conflict, suggesting that the truest battles are often fought within. As the character learns to confront and embrace their silent storm, they begin to understand that acknowledging internal turmoil is a crucial step toward healing and growth. The storm, with all its chaotic energy, gradually transforms into a source of strength, a reminder that vulnerability and resilience can coexist in the quietest of places. This paradox challenges you to recognize that the most powerful forces in life are not always the loud or obvious ones, but those subtle currents that shape your inner world, guiding you toward a deeper, more authentic understanding of yourself. 75. The paradox of infinite curiosity, the quest that never ends. In many narratives, the journey of discovery is not marked by a final destination but by an endless quest for knowledge and meaning. This paradox of infinite curiosity embodies the idea that the pursuit of understanding is a continuous, ever-evolving process, one that fuels the spirit and enriches the soul. Imagine a character who is driven by a relentless desire to explore the mysteries of the world, a traveler who never settles, always questioning, always learning. Their curiosity is boundless, propelling them into new realms of thought and experience. Each discovery, whether a hidden truth about themselves or a secret of the universe, opens up more questions than it answers, creating a cycle of wonder that never truly ends. The narrative portrays this ceaseless quest as both a source of exhilaration and a gentle reminder of life's inherent complexity. The character encounters puzzles that defy simple solutions, ancient wisdom that challenges modern understanding, and fleeting moments of clarity that spark further inquiry. This unquenchable thirst for knowledge becomes the driving force behind their journey, a testament to the power of curiosity as a means of growth and transformation. As you follow their path, you come to appreciate that infinite curiosity is not a sign of uncertainty but a vibrant, living passion that keeps the mind open to endless possibilities. It challenges you to embrace questions rather than fear them, to see every mystery as an invitation to explore the boundless landscapes of thought and experience. In this way, the paradox of infinite curiosity inspires you to consider that the true essence of life lies not in having all the answers, but in celebrating the perpetual journey of discovery, a journey that enriches every moment with wonder and transforms the quest for knowledge into a lifelong adventure. 76. The paradox of silent influences, the quiet forces that shape lives. In many narratives, unseen forces guide a character's destiny without a single word being spoken. This paradox of silent influences suggests that subtle energies, like the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze or the quiet pulse of a heartbeat, can alter the course of life more profoundly than any loud declaration. Picture a character who, without realizing it, is gently nudged toward new opportunities by a series of seemingly trivial events. A stray comment from a stranger, the accidental meeting in a sunlit cafe, or the lingering scent of rain on warm pavement. These quiet moments, often overlooked, form an intricate web of influence that shapes decisions and transforms ordinary days into turning points of fate. The narrative unfolds by revealing that these silent forces are not random but part of an invisible current that flows through every encounter. As the character navigates through challenges, each small, almost imperceptible detail becomes a guide, a silent mentor urging them to look beyond immediate obstacles. It is as if life's true compass lies not in the grand gestures but in these delicate, hidden cues. With each step, the character begins to notice the subtle interplay of chance and intention, realizing that even when words fail to express encouragement or caution, the universe speaks in a language of quiet hints. This paradox resonates because it mirrors your own experiences of feeling an inexplicable pull toward a decision or noticing how a minor detail unexpectedly changes your perspective. It invites you to appreciate that every seemingly insignificant moment may carry the weight of possibility. The silent influences remind you that while life often shouts its challenges, it also whispers its guidance, urging you to listen closely. By embracing these quiet forces, you learn that the true essence of change is often woven into the soft, unspoken layers of everyday life, shaping your journey in ways that are both subtle and transformative. 77. The paradox of serendipitous ends, the beauty of unplanned conclusions. In many stories, endings are not neatly wrapped in predictable conclusions. Instead, they unfold in unexpected, serendipitous ways that leave you both surprised and profoundly moved. This paradox of serendipitous ends reveals that sometimes the most meaningful conclusions arise not from a deliberate plan but from the beautiful randomness of life's unfolding events. Imagine a character whose journey seems to be following a certain path, only for fate to twist the narrative at the very last moment, presenting an ending that feels both surprising and perfectly fitting. The conclusion may come in the form of an unplanned reunion, a sudden act of kindness, or a revelation that transforms past misunderstandings into a newfound clarity. The narrative captures this unpredictability as a gentle reminder that life's richness often lies in its spontaneity. As the story draws to a close, every twist and turn, every chance encounter, melds into a finale that defies expectation. The serendipitous end is like discovering a hidden door in a familiar room, an invitation to step into a new realm of understanding. These unplanned conclusions speak to the heart because they mirror the unexpected joys and lessons that emerge when life does not adhere to a strict script. The character's journey, full of detours and unanticipated blessings, shows you that endings can be as vibrant and dynamic as the paths that led to them. This paradox challenges you to let go of the need for control and to find beauty in the unpredictable. It teaches that while plans may provide comfort, the magic of life often lies in its ability to surprise you. Embracing serendipity means welcoming the unknown and finding meaning in the twists that turn an ordinary story into an unforgettable adventure. In doing so, you learn that sometimes the most profound endings are those that arrive unexpectedly, carrying with them the promise of new beginnings. 78. The paradox of hidden reflections, the mirror of forgotten faces. Some narratives reveal that the past is not a distant memory but a living mirror that reflects both the forgotten and the familiar. This paradox of hidden reflections illustrates that every face and moment from our past, even those we have tried to leave behind, continues to shape who we are. Imagine a character wandering through old streets or revisiting a childhood home, only to see ghostly images of people and moments that once defined their existence. These hidden reflections, subtle, almost imperceptible, emerge in the form of a familiar laugh in a crowded room, a fleeting glimpse of an old friend, or even a shadow that hints at a long-forgotten memory. The narrative paints these reflections as delicate yet potent symbols of identity. Each forgotten face and silent memory acts as a fragment of the character's story, a piece of a puzzle that is essential to understanding their true self. As the character confronts these elusive images, they are forced to reckon with parts of their history that have shaped their present. The hidden reflections become not a source of regret but a wellspring of wisdom, offering insights into the joys, mistakes, and lessons that have defined their journey. It is like gazing into a mirror that not only shows your face but also the myriad experiences that have contributed to your unique story. This paradox resonates because it mirrors the way you may sometimes see echoes of your past in unexpected places. A familiar melody, a shared smile, or a fleeting scent that brings back long-lost memories. It reminds you that every encounter, even those that seem ephemeral, has a lasting impact on your identity. The hidden reflections invite you to embrace your full history, understanding that the forgotten parts of your past can illuminate your future. In this way, the narrative transforms memory into a vibrant tapestry of hidden faces, each one a silent testament to the enduring nature of who you are. 79. The paradox of cosmic whispers. The universe speaks in subtle tones. In many narratives, the vastness of the universe is not conveyed through grand cosmic events alone, but also through the soft, almost imperceptible whispers of fate that seem to resonate on a personal level. This paradox of cosmic whispers suggests that the universe communicates with you in gentle, mysterious ways, through a passing breeze, the sudden insight, or the synchronistic alignment of events that feels too precise to be mere coincidence. Imagine a character standing beneath a starry sky, where the quiet hum of the cosmos appears to murmur secrets of destiny and connection. These subtle tones, like delicate vibrations in the fabric of existence, hint at a grand design that is both awe-inspiring and deeply personal. The narrative unfolds as the character begins to notice these cosmic signals in everyday moments. A song playing at just the right time, a stranger's words that echo their unspoken thoughts, or a chance encounter that alters the course of their journey. The universe, in its vast mystery, seems to whisper truths that guide the character toward unforeseen opportunities and deeper self-awareness. Each whispered message carries a sense of wonder, urging the character to look beyond the obvious and to trust in the silent guidance of fate. These cosmic whispers challenge the notion that destiny is a matter of chance alone, suggesting instead that every small moment is imbued with a purpose that connects you to something far greater than yourself. This paradox invites you to listen carefully to the quiet signals in your own life. It reminds you that the universe is not an indifferent void but a living tapestry of subtle cues and gentle reminders, each one a call to embrace the mystery and to find meaning in the smallest details. In doing so, you come to realize that the universe speaks in a language of soft echoes and tender vibrations, guiding you on a path that is uniquely your own. 80. The paradox of resilient echoes. How past triumphs inspire new beginnings. In many narratives, the triumphs of the past are not relics to be forgotten, but resilient echoes that continue to inspire and empower the present. This paradox of resilient echoes reveals that every victory, no matter how distant, leaves behind a lingering note of strength that can guide you through future challenges. Imagine a character who, burdened by current hardships, stumbles upon a memory of a long-ago success, a moment when hope overcame despair or courage triumphed over fear. That memory, like a powerful echo in a vast canyon, reverberates through time, reminding the character of the resilience that lies within. These echoes are not loud declarations of past glories. Rather, they are subtle, persistent reminders that the spirit of victory endures even in the face of adversity. The narrative unfolds by showing how these echoes become a source of renewed determination. In quiet moments, the character recalls the lessons learned from previous struggles, a gentle recollection of the strength that once carried them through the darkest times. This resilient echo acts as a beacon, illuminating the path forward and providing the courage to face new challenges with confidence. It is as if every triumph, no matter how small, is a seed planted in the heart that continues to bloom with each passing trial. The past, with all its victories and defeats, transforms into a living archive of perseverance that fuels the character's journey toward a brighter future. This paradox speaks to you because it mirrors your own experiences of drawing strength from memories of past successes. It reminds you that even when the present seems overwhelming, the echoes of previous triumphs can kindle hope and ignite the drive to move forward. The resilient echoes serve as a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, a quiet yet persistent force that transforms every setback into an opportunity for new beginnings. In embracing these echoes, the narrative invites you to celebrate the victories of your past and to recognize that their legacy continues to light the way toward a future filled with possibility and renewal. 81. The paradox of radiant shadows, light found in darkness. In many narratives, darkness is not merely an absence of light but a dynamic canvas on which the hidden brilliance of life is revealed. This paradox of radiant shadows illustrates that even in the deepest gloom, a quiet glow can emerge to guide you toward hope. Picture a character who wanders through a world that seems cloaked in perpetual night, a place where despair appears to hold sway over every corner. Amid the obscurity, tiny glimmers of radiance appear, a single firefly in the vast dark, the soft twinkle of stars against a black sky, or the unexpected warmth of a kindly smile in a cold, unyielding moment. These luminous fragments, though subtle, become beacons of transformation, proving that light and darkness are interwoven in a delicate dance. The narrative unfolds as the character slowly learns to navigate these shadows, realizing that each moment of darkness carries within it the potential for enlightenment. The once intimidating void gradually reveals hidden pathways, each illuminated by small acts of courage and compassion that defy the surrounding bleakness. Every struggle in the dark transforms into an opportunity to discover a strength previously concealed, much like the soft light that filters through an ancient forest canopy. The interplay of radiant shadows teaches you that without the contrast of night, the beauty of light might never be fully appreciated. It is in these murky moments that you come to understand the resilience of the human spirit, a spirit that finds solace and meaning even when all seems lost. As the character embraces the gentle luminescence of hope, they learn that true brightness often stems from the interplay between what is seen and what is hidden. This paradox invites you to reconsider your own moments of despair, encouraging you to look for the quiet glimmers that persist amid adversity. In doing so, you recognize that every shadow holds the promise of a new dawn, and that sometimes, the most profound light is found within the heart of darkness. 82. The paradox of unspoken goodbyes, farewells that linger in silence. In many stories, the most heart-wrenching farewells are not delivered through dramatic declarations but through moments of quiet, unspoken partings that resonate long after the final glance has been exchanged. This paradox of unspoken goodbyes captures the bittersweet truth that some departures speak louder in silence than any farewell ever could. Imagine a character standing at the threshold of a significant departure, a moment when words falter and emotions swell into an unexpressed tide. In that stillness, a shared look or a lingering touch becomes a powerful conversation, conveying promises of remembrance, sorrow for what is lost, and hope for eventual reunion. The narrative paints these silent goodbyes as delicate rituals, rich with unvoiced sentiments that echo across time. Each unspoken farewell carries the weight of memories forged in laughter, tears, and quiet companionship. They serve as gentle reminders that while life is filled with departures, the connections forged in the depths of the heart remain resilient. The character, as they slowly turn away from a cherished chapter, clings to these silent echoes, the subtle brush of a hand, the soft light in a tear-filled eye, or the muted sound of a heartbeat in the quiet room. These moments, though void of spoken words, become enduring symbols of love and loss, binding the present to the past in a tapestry of emotion that transcends verbal expression. This paradox invites you to reflect on your own experiences of parting, recognizing that sometimes the most profound connections are expressed not in what is said, but in what is left unspoken. In the quiet spaces between words, you learn that goodbyes, however silent, can continue to speak volumes long after the moment has passed. 83. The paradox of fleeting miracles, transient moments that alter destiny. In many narratives, life's most miraculous transformations occur in the briefest of moments, ephemeral flashes of wonder that alter the course of a character's journey in ways that seem almost magical. This paradox of fleeting miracles highlights that while these moments are transient, their impact can reverberate through time, reshaping destinies and kindling hope when it appears most scarce. Imagine a character caught in the routine of a gray, predictable existence, where each day blends indistinguishably into the next. Unexpectedly, the sudden, wondrous event occurs, a chance encounter, an unexpected act of kindness, or a moment of sublime beauty that pierces the mundane. In that instant, the world seems to shift. What once appeared ordinary transforms into a tapestry of possibility. The narrative unfolds as the character, initially overwhelmed by the suddenness of this miracle, begins to notice how its effects ripple outward. Each fleeting moment of wonder acts like a stone dropped into a still pond, sending gentle ripples that touch every aspect of their life. These miracles, though brief, become catalysts for change. A reminder that destiny is not set in stone but is continually being remade by the smallest, most unexpected gestures. The character learns that even if a miracle lasts only a heartbeat, its influence can ignite a flame of resilience and inspire transformative growth. The transient nature of these moments imbues them with a precious urgency, urging you to seize the beauty that can arise at any time. This paradox of fleeting miracles invites you to embrace the unpredictability of life, to cherish those rare sparks of brilliance that disrupt the everyday, and to recognize that even the briefest flash of wonder can illuminate a path toward a brighter future. 84. The paradox of quiet resilience, enduring strength amidst life's trials. In many narratives, the most formidable strength is not found in loud declarations of bravery but in the quiet, steadfast resolve that carries a character through life's harshest trials. This paradox of quiet resilience shows that true fortitude often blooms in silence, nurtured by perseverance and the gentle refusal to surrender. Picture a character who, facing relentless adversity, never shouts for help or demands recognition, yet each day rises with a determined calm that speaks volumes. Their strength is not the result of dramatic heroics, but of a quiet endurance, a soft, unyielding spirit that finds solace in the small victories and inner wisdom born from hardship. The narrative illustrates this resilience through moments of subtle defiance. A solitary morning walk against a storm, a silent tear wiped away before the world can see, or a humble smile shared in spite of lingering sorrow. These unassuming acts of courage build upon one another, forming an invisible armor that shields the character from despair. In the face of overwhelming obstacles, quiet resilience becomes a trusted companion, a source of comfort and power that whispers, "You can endure." As you follow the character's journey, you come to understand that true strength is often found in the ability to carry on without fanfare, drawing on inner reserves that only emerge in the stillness of the heart. This paradox invites you to reflect on your own moments of quiet perseverance and to recognize that even when the world seems unkind, the steady flame of resilience can light the way through the darkest hours. It is a reminder that the most enduring victories are not always celebrated with grand gestures, but are etched in the silent, persistent rhythm of a brave heart. 85. The paradox of infinite reflections, discovering the self in every mirror. In many narratives, the journey towards self-discovery is marked by a series of reflections, each one offering a glimpse of the many facets that compose your identity. This paradox of infinite reflections reveals that who you are is not a singular, fixed image but a mosaic of experiences, memories, and hidden truths that shine back at you from every mirror you encounter. Imagine a character who, at various points in their life, comes face to face with reflections that seem to alter with each passing day. Whether in a literal mirror or in the eyes of a loved one, these images shift and evolve, capturing not only the outward appearance but the complex interplay of emotions and vulnerabilities beneath the surface. The narrative explores these infinite reflections as a continuous dialogue between the past and the present. Each reflection is like a window into another layer of the self, sometimes clear and reassuring, at other times distorted by the weight of unspoken sorrows or unfulfilled dreams. As the character navigates their world, they gradually come to understand that every encounter with their own image is an opportunity to piece together the puzzle of who they truly are. This ongoing process of self-examination is both challenging and liberating, as it forces the character to confront parts of themselves that they might have long tried to hide. The paradox of infinite reflections invites you to appreciate that every mirror, every whispered memory, and every fleeting thought contributes to the rich tapestry of your identity. It encourages you to embrace the multiplicity of your existence, recognizing that the journey to understand yourself is as boundless and ever-changing as the reflections that greet you at every turn. In doing so, you learn that the true essence of life lies not in a single, static image, but in the beautiful, infinite array of moments that shape your ever-evolving self. 86. The paradox of timeless whispers, echoes that reshape the present. In many narratives, the past communicates with the present in soft, persistent murmurs that guide a character's every step. This paradox of timeless whispers reveals that memories and secrets from long ago are never truly silent. They persist, like the faint hum of an old melody that shapes the rhythm of your days. Picture a character strolling along a forgotten path, where every breeze seems to carry voices of ancestors and echoes of moments once lived. These whispers, though delicate and elusive, resonate deeply within, gently urging the character to reconsider past decisions and embrace the lessons hidden in history. The narrative unfolds as these timeless echoes begin to reshape the present. Each soft murmur, be it a half-remembered lullaby, a familiar scent from a childhood home, or the glimmer of an old photograph, acts as a catalyst for change. They stir feelings of longing and hope, as if urging the character to reconcile with the past in order to step confidently into the future. The whispers are not loud declarations but subtle hints, like light filtering through an ancient canopy, illuminating forgotten truths and untold stories. In this way, the character learns that the past is not a closed chapter but a living, breathing presence that continuously molds their identity. As you journey with the character, you begin to see that these echoes are a source of both comfort and challenge. They remind you that every experience, whether joyful or sorrowful, leaves an imprint that can guide your choices long after the moment has passed. The paradox of timeless whispers invites you to listen closely to the soft reverberations of your own history, and to understand that these murmurs are not chains that bind you, but stepping stones leading you toward a wiser, more enriched self. In embracing these echoes, you come to appreciate that the present is a tapestry woven with threads of the past, each whisper contributing to the unfolding story of your life. 87. The paradox of quiet revelations, epiphanies unfolding in stillness. In many narratives, profound truths emerge not through explosive events but in the gentle calm of introspection, when silence becomes a canvas for hidden epiphanies. This paradox of quiet revelations illustrates that life's most significant insights often bloom in the spaces between noise and chaos. Imagine a character, burdened by the weight of unspoken questions and uncertain dreams, finding solace in moments of solitude, a quiet morning before the world awakens or a peaceful twilight when thoughts drift like clouds. In that stillness, revelations appear gradually, like the soft glow of dawn piercing through darkness. The narrative captures these moments of insight as tender and transformative, revealing that the absence of clamor can illuminate truths otherwise concealed by everyday clatter. In the hush of a quiet room, the character may suddenly understand the complexity of their emotions or recognize a long-ignored desire that shapes their path. These silent epiphanies are delicate yet potent, altering the course of the character's journey in ways that are both subtle and profound. They encourage you to slow down, to pause and let the whispers of your inner world guide you toward understanding. This paradox resonates deeply because it mirrors the way you might experience sudden clarity during a quiet walk or in the reflective moments before sleep. It teaches you that revelations need not be shouted from the rooftops. Often, they come softly, in the gentle unfolding of your inner dialogue. The narrative invites you to embrace these quiet moments, recognizing that in stillness, you can find the keys to unlock hidden chambers of wisdom. By valuing the quiet, you learn that every silent pause holds the potential for a breakthrough, a reminder that the journey towards self-discovery is often measured in the soft, tender moments of understanding. 88. The paradox of uncharted emotions, navigating the depths of the inner sea. In many narratives, emotions are depicted not as static states but as vast, ever-changing seas, mysterious, and unpredictable. This paradox of uncharted emotions reveals that beneath the surface of everyday life lies a complex world of feelings waiting to be explored. Imagine a character who finds themselves adrift in a sea of emotions, where each wave represents a different aspect of love, sorrow, joy, or fear. These feelings are not neatly compartmentalized but ebb and flow like tides, sometimes rising in overwhelming surges and at other moments retreating into the calm of introspection. The narrative portrays the exploration of these emotional depths as a journey of self-discovery. As the character navigates through moments of turbulent passion and quiet melancholy, they learn to recognize that every emotional current, no matter how intense, holds valuable insights about their true self. The uncharted emotions become a vast map, each unexplored feeling a territory filled with lessons, hidden treasures, and the potential for healing. The character's voyage through this inner sea is both daunting and liberating, as they gradually come to understand that vulnerability is not a weakness but a gateway to deeper connection and growth. This paradox speaks to you on a personal level, reminding you that your emotions, like the ocean, are profound and multifaceted. It invites you to dive into your own inner waters, to explore the hidden coves of your heart where secret hopes and fears reside. As the narrative unfolds, you come to see that embracing the unpredictable tides of emotion can lead to a richer, more authentic life, a life where every surge and every calm moment contributes to the evolving portrait of who you are. In this way, the paradox of uncharted emotions encourages you to set sail on the journey within, knowing that the depths of your inner sea are filled with endless possibilities for transformation and renewal. 89. The paradox of celestial alignment. When fate and the cosmos conspire, in many narratives, the interplay between personal destiny and the vast forces of the universe is depicted as a cosmic dance, a delicate balance where chance and fate align in moments of extraordinary significance. This paradox of celestial alignment suggests that, sometimes, the stars and planets seem to conspire with your inner desires, orchestrating events that feel both serendipitous and inevitable. Picture a character whose life appears to follow a predictable course, only to experience a series of seemingly random coincidences that suddenly interlock, forming a pattern that hints at a grand, unseen design. These moments, as if guided by cosmic forces, transform ordinary encounters into profound turning points, where every detail, the position of the moon, a whispered phrase, or the unexpected appearance of a long-lost friend, takes on a meaning far greater than its apparent randomness. The narrative unfolds like a celestial map, where every minor event contributes to a larger tapestry of fate. The character comes to realize that these moments of alignment are not merely coincidences but gentle nudges from the universe, urging them to follow a path that transcends the mundane. Each serendipitous encounter acts as a signpost, pointing toward a destiny that is both predetermined and open to interpretation. a delicate fusion of cosmic order and personal choice. This paradox resonates deeply because it mirrors the inexplicable moments in your own life, those times when the universe seems to speak directly to your heart, guiding you through challenges and illuminating opportunities. It invites you to trust in the mysterious forces that shape your journey, understanding that while you may not control the cosmos, you can choose to embrace the signs it offers. In doing so, you learn that destiny is not a rigid plan but a dynamic interplay between fate and free will, a celestial dance that continually invites you to step into the light of your true path. 90. The paradox of enduring legacies, how lives echo through time. In many narratives, the impact of a life is not measured by grand declarations or fleeting achievements but by the quiet, enduring echoes that resonate through generations. This paradox of enduring legacies reveals that every action, no matter how small, leaves an imprint that continues to shape the world long after the moment has passed. Imagine a character who, through simple acts of kindness, compassion, and courage, weaves a legacy that is not heralded with fanfare but remembered in the silent gratitude of those whose lives they touched. These legacies are like gentle ripples on the surface of a vast lake, each one spreading outward, influencing relationships, decisions, and future possibilities in subtle yet profound ways. The narrative illustrates that legacy is not solely about monumental accomplishments. It is the sum of everyday moments, the repeated acts of love and integrity that create a tapestry of influence. As the character's story unfolds, you see that even when personal triumphs are modest, their impact is magnified by the lasting memories they inspire. The echoes of their deeds persist in the stories told by loved ones, the lessons passed down in quiet conversations, and the unspoken bonds formed through shared experiences. Each memory becomes a testament to the character's enduring spirit, a reminder that the true measure of a life lies in its ability to inspire and uplift others across time. This paradox speaks to you by suggesting that every choice you make contributes to a legacy that will outlast the confines of your immediate existence. It invites you to recognize that the whispers of your actions, though sometimes unnoticed in the present, have the power to shape futures and nurture hope. The enduring legacies woven through the narrative serve as a gentle call to live with intention and compassion, knowing that even the softest echoes of your life can inspire generations to come. In embracing this idea, you learn that true immortality is found not in being remembered by name, but in the lasting impact of your kindness, resilience, and the love you share, a legacy that continues to echo through time. 91. The paradox of reclaimed silence, finding strength in the absence of words. In many narratives, silence is not a void to be feared but a powerful space where the truest parts of a character's soul can emerge. This paradox of reclaimed silence suggests that sometimes the absence of words holds more meaning than the loudest declarations. Picture a character who, after years of being overwhelmed by constant noise, both from the world and within their own mind, finally finds solace in quiet. In that stillness, they discover a hidden reservoir of strength and clarity that no amount of conversation could ever reveal. The narrative paints a picture of a life where silence is not synonymous with emptiness but is instead a fertile ground for introspection, healing, and ultimately, transformation. As the character learns to embrace moments of quiet, they begin to notice that every unspoken thought and every pause between words becomes a subtle message of resilience. It's as if the world itself speaks in hushed tones, offering wisdom in the gentle rustle of leaves or the soft murmur of distant waves. These reclaimed silences allow the character to reconnect with parts of themselves long buried under the clamor of everyday life. Over time, this quiet becomes a powerful tool, a mirror reflecting the truth that lies beneath the surface, urging them to understand that sometimes, the most profound strength is found not in what you say, but in what you choose not to say. This paradox resonates because it mirrors real-life moments when stepping away from the noise helps you rediscover who you truly are. It teaches that silence can be a form of communication, one that conveys determination, and ultimately, in reclaiming silence, the character learns that the space between words is a sanctuary for personal growth, where every quiet moment is an opportunity to rebuild, reimagine, and renew the spirit. It is a gentle reminder that while the world may be loud and overwhelming, your inner voice, often heard best in silence, is where your truest strength resides. 92. The paradox of bound souls, the unseen threads that bind us together. In many narratives, the most powerful connections are those that transcend time, and even the spoken word. This paradox of bound souls reveals that unseen threads, delicate yet unbreakable, tie individuals together in ways that often defy logic. Imagine a character who, despite feeling isolated in a crowded room, begins to sense an invisible connection with a stranger, a shared glance, a familiar smile that seems to whisper of a deeper, unspoken bond. These connections are not always forged by explicit conversations or overt gestures. Instead, they emerge quietly, through mutual understanding and shared experiences that resonate on a soul-deep level. The narrative unfolds like a tapestry woven from countless delicate threads, each representing moments of empathy, unvoiced support, and a collective memory of love and loss. Every encounter, no matter how fleeting, leaves an imprint that binds one life to another. As the character journeys through their own trials and triumphs, they discover that these invisible ties are the true anchors in life, offering strength during times of solitude and a sense of belonging when the world seems indifferent. These bonds, though unseen, radiate a comforting warmth, assuring you that even in your darkest moments, you are never truly alone. This paradox mirrors your own experiences of finding kinship in unexpected places, teaching that the most profound relationships are built on shared glances and silent understanding rather than elaborate declarations. It invites you to cherish those quiet connections that, although invisible, are as vital as any spoken promise. In recognizing the bound souls around you, you come to understand that every relationship, no matter how subtle, plays a part in the rich, interwoven story of life, forever linking your journey with the journeys of others. 93. The paradox of fleeting encounters, moments that change the course of life. In many narratives, life's turning points often come wrapped in the briefest of encounters, moments so transient yet potent enough to alter a character's path forever. This paradox of fleeting encounters underscores that even a single, seemingly inconsequential meeting can set off a chain reaction of events, transforming the course of destiny. Imagine a character who, while going about an ordinary day, unexpectedly crosses paths with someone whose words or actions resonate deeply, igniting a spark of change. This encounter, brief as it may be, carries a weight of possibility, a silent promise that the world is full of untapped potential waiting just around the corner. The narrative captures these ephemeral moments with a sense of wonder and urgency. Each fleeting encounter is portrayed as a delicate, almost serendipitous ripple that expands outward, influencing decisions, emotions, and ultimately, the direction of one's life. Like a sudden burst of sunlight breaking through storm clouds, these moments bring clarity and hope, reminding the character, and you, that change can arrive when you least expect it. The unexpected meeting might offer a new perspective, a gentle challenge to old beliefs, or even a call to pursue a dream that had long been forgotten. In that brief intersection, the mundane transforms into the extraordinary, and what seemed like a random twist of fate becomes a catalyst for profound personal growth. This paradox resonates with you because it mirrors real-life experiences, where a chance encounter, a kind word from a stranger, a shared smile, or an unexpected conversation, has shifted the very fabric of your existence. It teaches you that no moment is truly insignificant, for every interaction holds the potential to be the spark that lights a new path. In embracing these fleeting encounters, the narrative encourages you to remain open to the unexpected, to see every meeting as an opportunity for transformation, and to recognize that even the briefest moments can change the course of your life forever. 94. The paradox of timeless struggle, the everlasting quest for inner harmony. In many narratives, the quest for inner peace is portrayed not as a destination, but as a perpetual journey, a timeless struggle that ebbs and flows with the rhythm of life. This paradox of timeless struggle reveals that the search for inner harmony is an ever-evolving process, one that continues long after the external battles have been fought. Imagine a character who spends years seeking balance amid chaos, fighting external forces, overcoming setbacks, and confronting inner demons. Despite moments of victory and tranquility, the struggle persists, a constant companion that challenges them to grow and adapt with each passing day. The narrative depicts this enduring quest as a cycle of challenges and revelations, where every hardship becomes a stepping stone toward a deeper understanding of the self. Like the tide that rises and falls with unwavering regularity, the character's internal battles recur in various forms. A surge of anxiety here, a wave of doubt there, each one urging them to look within and discover the strength that lies beneath. The timeless struggle is portrayed as both a source of pain and a wellspring of wisdom. It is in the midst of conflict that the character learns the true value of resilience, compassion, and self-acceptance. This paradox mirrors your own experiences, reminding you that the journey toward inner harmony is rarely linear or final. It teaches that the process of striving for balance is ongoing, filled with small victories and occasional setbacks, each contributing to the rich tapestry of who you are. By embracing the timeless struggle, you learn to find beauty in the process itself, the incremental growth, the quiet moments of self-discovery, and the realization that even in the midst of chaos, there is an enduring light waiting to guide you toward peace. 95. The paradox of silent triumphs, the unseen victories of everyday courage. In many narratives, the most profound triumphs are not celebrated with fanfare or public accolades, but occur quietly, in the hidden corners of everyday life. This paradox of silent triumphs reveals that victories, though often unheralded, carry a deep, lasting significance. Picture a character who, despite facing relentless challenges, finds moments of quiet success that go unnoticed by the outside world. These wins may not be marked by grand celebrations. Instead, they manifest in subtle ways. A single day of overcoming despair, a whispered affirmation of self-worth, or a small act of kindness that breaks through the barriers of isolation. The narrative captures these silent triumphs as powerful testaments to inner strength and resilience. Each uncelebrated victory, no matter how modest it may seem, becomes a beacon of hope, a reminder that even the softest light can dispel darkness. As the character navigates through life's hurdles, the accumulation of these quiet successes gradually transforms their outlook, imbuing them with the courage to face new challenges. The power of these triumphs lies not in their visibility, but in their ability to nurture the spirit and foster personal growth. They remind you that not every victory needs to be broadcast to the world to be meaningful. Sometimes, the most significant changes occur in the silent spaces of your heart, where determination and hope reside. This paradox resonates with you because it mirrors the subtle, yet transformative moments in your own life. Those instances when a quiet decision or a small act of bravery altered your path. It invites you to celebrate the unspoken, the overlooked, and the deeply personal triumphs that define who you are. In doing so, the narrative gently reminds you that every victory, however silent, contributes to the mosaic of your journey, empowering you to continue moving forward with a resilient spirit and an unwavering belief in the power of everyday courage. 96. The paradox of ever-changing tides. Embracing the flux of life. In many narratives, life is portrayed as a vast ocean with tides that constantly shift and evolve. This paradox of ever-changing tides reveals that nothing in life remains static. Each moment brings new currents of emotion and experience that reshape our inner world. Picture a character standing at the shoreline, feeling the cool spray of water as the tide advances and retreats. With every wave that crashes, there comes a mix of joy, sorrow, and unexpected revelation that transforms what was once familiar. The narrative likens these tides to the ceaseless flow of existence, where every surge carries both promise and uncertainty, and every ebb invites reflection on what has passed. The character learns that, just as the ocean never stops moving, so too must we learn to adapt and embrace the constant flux around us. In this ever-changing dance, challenges dissolve into opportunities for growth, and moments of stillness give way to bursts of transformation. The paradox invites you to see that change, even when it feels unsettling, is the very essence of life's beauty, a force that compels you to evolve, reinvent, and rediscover your own strength. Each shifting tide becomes a gentle reminder that the future is a mosaic of countless possibilities, waiting to be explored with an open heart and a willing spirit. 97. The paradox of refined resilience, the subtle art of recovery. In many narratives, resilience is not heralded by grand gestures or loud declarations, but emerges through quiet, persistent recovery. This paradox of refined resilience demonstrates that the power to overcome hardships is often found in the gentle art of rebuilding oneself after life's inevitable setbacks. Imagine a character who, after enduring a series of painful defeats, retreats into moments of solitude where they slowly piece together the fragments of their shattered dreams. In these quiet moments, recovery is like a delicate painting, each brushstroke representing a small victory, a whispered affirmation of hope, or a tender act of self-compassion that mends the soul. As the character learns to nurture these subtle strengths, they discover that true resilience is not about the absence of pain, but about the courageous act of rising again, even when the world remains silent about your struggles. The narrative shows you that recovery is a process woven from the threads of patience, acceptance, and the willingness to embrace vulnerability. It gently reminds you that every setback carries the seeds of future strength and that even the softest triumphs can ignite a powerful transformation. In this refined resilience, you find an invitation to celebrate the unspoken victories that, though often overlooked, define the very essence of enduring hope and renewal. 98. The paradox of enduring echoes, memories that shape our future. In many narratives, the past is far more than a collection of distant moments. It is an enduring echo that continues to shape the present and guide the future. This paradox of enduring echoes reveals that memories, with all their beauty and pain, serve as a constant influence on who we are and what we become. Imagine a character who, amid the turmoil of everyday life, finds solace in a cherished memory, a shared laugh with a loved one, the warmth of a long-lost embrace, or a quiet moment of triumph that once lit up their world. These echoes, like gentle ripples in a still pond, extend far beyond the moment they were born, softly guiding decisions and igniting hope for what lies ahead. The narrative illustrates how even the faintest recollection can become a beacon of resilience, urging the character to learn from the past and use its lessons as stepping stones toward a brighter future. As you journey with them, you come to understand that the memories you hold are not burdens to be cast off but treasures that empower and inspire, continuously weaving the fabric of your destiny with threads of experience and emotion. 99. The paradox of transcendent solitude. Finding wholeness in isolation. In many narratives, solitude is not painted as loneliness, but as a transformative space where true self-discovery unfolds. This paradox of transcendent solitude suggests that when you step away from the cacophony of everyday life, you open a door to a profound inner journey, one where every quiet moment reveals new depths of understanding and personal strength. Picture a character who retreats from the bustling world into a serene, isolated haven, a silent cabin, a vast desert, or a secluded mountaintop, where the only sound is the beating of their own heart. In that profound isolation, they begin to peel back the layers of external expectations and societal noise, discovering instead the rich, uncharted territory of their inner self. The narrative shows that in the absence of external distractions, every thought and emotion is magnified, offering insights into hidden dreams, fears, and untapped resilience. This state of transcendent solitude is not about being cut off from the world, but about embracing a space where you can confront and ultimately integrate the disparate parts of your identity. It teaches you that sometimes, the journey toward wholeness requires stepping into the quiet, where you learn to cherish your own company and find strength in your inner voice. 100. The paradox of unwritten destinies. The journey beyond predetermination. In many narratives, Destiny is not a rigid script written in stone, but an open canvas on which each choice paints a new chapter of life. This paradox of unwritten destinies challenges the idea that your future is predestined, inviting you instead to embrace the power of possibility and personal agency. Imagine a character standing at a crossroads, where countless paths lie before them, each shimmering with the promise of unknown adventures and unforeseen challenges. Rather than being bound by the weight of predetermined fate, they come to realize that every decision, no matter how small, holds the power to reshape their story. The narrative unfolds as a celebration of free will, a journey where every step taken is a brushstroke that transforms a blank canvas into a vibrant tapestry of dreams, setbacks, and triumphs. In this fluid state, destiny becomes a living, breathing process, one that evolves with each act of courage, each leap of faith, and every moment of quiet introspection. The character learns that while the future may be uncertain, it is also a realm of endless potential, inviting you to cast aside the notion of predetermination and to revel in the beauty of your own creative power. By embracing the unwritten, you discover that the journey is not about reaching a fixed end, but about continuously crafting a life of purpose and wonder, a journey that is as boundless and unpredictable as the stars in the night sky.